Good morning, everyone. Mike Flanagan from InsideBowling.com, and welcome to the 2017 Bradley Open here in Lexington, Kentucky. We have our A Squad qualifying getting ready to get started underway, and we're happy you're with us this morning on our YouTube channel. Last night we had a doubles tournament that got over about 1:30 in the morning, and here we are back at 9 a.m. for what I anticipate being about 18 hours of streaming all day. So we're looking forward to bringing that to you. We do have a lot of unbelievable bowlers in the field with A Squad and B Squad today. They're 5-game qualifying blocks. I'm going to take you out to the lanes. We have 2 different pairs available for you, and we'll get started over on lanes 21 and 22, just left of my booth here, and I will tell you who we have for us in front of us today. We're looking at close to 200 entries. It's a 44-lane bowling center, so that'd be about 100 bowlers a squad, which means 5 on a pair. So that'll be our pace of play today as we bring you the Bradley. This is our second year broadcasting the Bradley, and we'd like to thank Jason Ushwal and his entire team here at Collins Bowling Center Eastland Bowl. Here on lanes 21 and 2, as I do have my lane assignment sheet here, we have Dwight Adams, who last night took home the doubles event. His partner, Jeff Evans. So Dwight Adams, Robert Bailey, Brandon Cash, Josh Party, Bob Hale bowling here on lanes 21 and 22 to get started this morning. I would like to take this time to talk about the sponsors, because without the sponsors, this would not be possible. You wouldn't be watching this broadcast, and these bowlers wouldn't be bowling for the prize fund that they are. This 2017 Bradley Open is brought to you by Hammer Bowling. Dave Wadka and the team at Ebonite International with the Hammer brand. Been a part of this tournament now for a few years, and Hammer supports competitive bowling, and when you consider your next bowling ball purchase, make sure you consider a Hammer bowling product. Makers of the Scandal, all the way down to the, what I like to call the low-end ball. It's not at that price point, but it's an effective bowling ball, as we saw Tom Doherty run a stepladder recently, and that is the black original Hammer urethane. So check out all their products. Go over to hammerbowling.com and take a look. Also, New Center Consulting. You may ask yourself, what is New Center Consulting? Well, if you own a bowling center or you bowl at a bowling center that may need a few upgrades, give New Center Consulting a call. Folks over there will take care of you. Get your bowling center into the 21st century, and make sure you give them a call. Great group of people, and may have one of the owners join us on the broadcast today. So thank you to New Center Consulting, big supporter of this event. Also, Logo Infusion on board this year. And we do have a coupon code, everybody. The coupon code is Bradley17. Bradley17. You can save 20% off all weekend over at logoinfusion.com. Thanks to Ken Keegan and his entire staff. Ken, Kathy, Mike, Brandon, Dennis, and the rest of the crew at Logo Infusion for their continued support of bowling. This is our second event in a row where Logo Infusion was involved. I'm actually wearing Logo Infusion ugly Christmas sweater design with Hammer on it. So make sure you check them out. I can tell you they're made in the United States of America out of Las Vegas, and great group of people. We have a great relationship with them as well with Inside Bowling. Take you down to lanes 27 and 28 and bring in our other featured pair that we have for you today. And bowling on lanes 27 and 28, we have Michael Williams, Aaron Butte, Aaron Lawrence, Matt Sanders. A little bit of a faster bowling pace here with just 4 on this pair. And I will We'll get those scoreboards edited on the screen for you. I got a little too much space on there. They had them a little bit differently earlier this morning, so I'll get those corrected for you. Glad you're with us this morning. You can interact with us on YouTube. I want to say hello to those in the chat already. Jeremy, the Wild Dew Blue from the UK. Sarnarian's back this morning already. And Chad Roberts, who bowled last night. Yeah, that was Joe Bailey, Chad Roberts, you're right, but they have his name down as Robert. Also, other sponsors with this event, Brooks Electric. Brooks Electric is responsible for all the electric needs at the Collins Bowling Centers. And they're bowlers. They were actually participating last night. I saw some Brooks Electric folks bowling in the doubles event last night. So hats off to Brooks Electric. If you're looking for some electrical needs here in the Lexington area, give Brooks Electric a call. Also from their local liquor supplier, 2 whiskey companies worth mentioning here supporting the event. Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey and Fireball Whiskey. Thank you for your continued support of Scratch Bowling. And United American Supply. They supply all the paper goods and products so that they can keep their prices affordable in the snack bar. And without them and their support, we wouldn't be able to pay out the money that we do as well. And last but not least, Ace Mitchell Bowlers Mart, distributor to all the pro shops throughout the United States. Thank you, Ace Mitchell, for your continued support of bowling and the 2017 Bradley Open. We are in Lexington, Kentucky here from Collins Bowling Center. It's Eastland Bowl. I am Mike Flanagan at InsideBowling.com, and this is a great opportunity now for me to take you through how you can participate and interact with us throughout the day. We have several different ways to do so. This is your first broadcast. Welcome. You can, certainly right here on YouTube, you can do a couple of things for us. Down below on the screen, there is a like button and a dislike button. Last night we got to 175 or 176, I believe, likes, and we had 1 dislike the whole night. And our stream went down twice, so that was pretty good. When you click the like button, it increases our ranking on YouTube in the live sports section. So if you support bowling and you would like to turn people on to bowling, if you can like our broadcast, that will help do that. And we know that we want more people bowling. So do us a favor, give us a like down below. I see some of those coming in now. I thank you for that. We also, if you want to know when we're live at another event, because maybe you're not following our social media, you can get an instant notification by just clicking the subscribe button on our channel. We picked up 60 new subscribers yesterday. We're looking to pick up 200 new subscribers today. We picked up 500 at the holiday doubles, and I had a lot of people email me and contact me and say, thanks for asking me to subscribe, Mike. I get an email notification, let me know when you're live, and now I can watch bowling all the time, and very convenient. So go over and hit that subscribe button on our channel. We would appreciate it. As a matter of fact, I do have a couple of new additions to the booth just to drive that point home, and I'd like to do so at this time. Subscribe. It's a red button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's all you have to do is just click subscribe, and you can do that without having my cardboard cutout. But please subscribe to our YouTube channel. See Aaron Lawrence up on your screen. He's got the beard working right now. Other ways you can interact with us throughout the day is you can go over to our Twitter feed at Inside Bowling. We'll be posting standings and things like that there. A few updates here and there. I do not have my social media team with me on the road, but I do have Kimberly working remote, and we will be updating our Twitter feed. I'll do some poll questions throughout the day as well, so make sure you follow us over on Twitter if you don't already, at Inside Bowling. Also on Instagram, same deal, at Inside Bowling. And then, of course, over on the book, Facebook, you can find us at Inside Bowling there as well, just facebook.com/Inside Bowling. And if you don't mind, if you'd give us a like we would certainly appreciate that. Just hit that like button. It looks like this cutout I have right here. So that's how you interact with us. And then also our chat on YouTube, we try to pay attention to throughout the event. And this morning, I want to say hello to Ziv Zov. And Ziv Zov is this will be the last time you're on our broadcast. Took care of that. I want to say hello to Deanna Carroll and Tony Hines. Also in the chat this morning, we have 131 watching. We have 23 likes so far. You're watching game 1 of this 5-game qualifying block. The pattern here at the Bradley every year is extremely slick. They are extremely slick, which means there's a lot of oil on the lanes and your bowling ball doesn't hook very much. Yesterday they had qualifiers, and I believe through 3 qualifiers, nobody had bowled 600 for 3 games. Last year the cut score to make it into the next round this evening was minus 130 something. So very, very demanding lane conditions to say the least. A little bit slower pace because we do have so many bowlers in the field. Once again, last year they had about 170 entries, and they're anticipating close to 200 this year, so a nice increase. And I know that many of you are battling bad weather throughout the United States, as it's been an odd couple of weeks, all the way from Portland to the East Coast. Take you back down to lanes 21 and 22. Cleaned up that scoreboard a little bit for you, a little less room. You can see a little bit more of what's going on. And there is Joe Bailey. Joe Bailey's been a big supporter of inside bowling ever since our inception, and I want to wish Joe Bailey the best of luck at this 2016 Bradley Open. I'll find out exactly about the oil pattern. Nobody has communicated to me in the booth what it is, but yes, your observation of it being close to 40 mils and 46 to 48 feet is pretty accurate. 48 units of oil last year. And just to show you some of the different styles, I'll go ahead and take you to our split screen so you can see a couple of pairs here, our 2 feature pairs, 21 and 22, and 27 and 28. We do have some folks asking about Liz Johnson. Is she in the field? And she is. And those of you that have been watching our broadcast for quite some time, you guys know that I have a special admiration for Miss Liz Johnson, as many do. I'm a fan, big fan of Liz Johnson. And one of the things that I like most about Liz is when I started streaming very early on, and I was on the weekend streaming tour, it seemed like I'd go to all these men's tournaments, and Liz Johnson would be there when there was no women's tour. Now, thank goodness the women's tour has been resurrected, and that's all awesome and wonderful. But there was a time where there wasn't a tour, and Liz Johnson, instead of getting a full-time job, said, I'm going to go out and give this a go. And she bowled on the PBA tour and bowled every weekend tournament she possibly could with big payouts. And in my opinion, it's why she's gone on to start off this new PWBA with such success, with so many major titles. And on the road, it was like we'd see each other every weekend there, it seemed, for like the first summer. We'd be at the Boot Hill. I'd see her at some other events that we would just both be at for Pro-Am, stuff like that, and Proprietors Cup and all these different events, and she'd come bowl the IB Open, Holiday Doubles. So I got to know her a little bit, and as great of a bowler as she is, she's even a better person. And knowing that she's in the finals over and over again, she became like a star of our broadcast. I mean, rightfully so. And I was so happy to see her be able to cash for big money at some of these events and still keep bowling against the men. And then when that women's tour came back, I was so happy for her and all the other ladies. But I knew that Liz would be a force to be reckoned with, not only because she's so good, but because she continued to stay sharp bowling against the guys and was fearless and was able to support herself over those years. So kudos to her. And she is bowling in this event. And I actually saw her, and I told her that her odds were 2-1 to win this tournament because she's got an impeccable record and a really good cash ratio when it comes to bowling in the events that we stream. So, and because they are skipping so many pairs, I don't know if we're going to have an opportunity to get Liz on camera. I just don't know right now. So I have moved my booth cam to the pair of lanes just in front of me here, lanes 25 and 26. And I am going to give you an opportunity to get a chance to look at Liz Johnson throw a few shots, just because she's kind of a fan favorite here at Inside Bowling and a favorite of mine. So whenever we got an opportunity to feature Liz, I want to do that. So Liz is actually getting set up on the approach here now. She'll creep into your screen here on the right side of your screen on lane 26. And there she is striking away. Liz currently right now has 3 in a row. .59 in the third with a triple working. So we'll check in on Liz Johnson a little bit here and there. Chris Fowler in the chat says, tell Bob Hale hi. Tony Hines is a fan as well of Liz Johnson. Daniel Jimenez says, trying to promote his channel. Did Derek pay his $80? I doubt Derek's up. Liz is awesome. She's the greatest female bowler in the last 15 years, if not ever. I couldn't agree more. Good morning, Matt Ogle. Matt Ogle was in our booth last night for a little while. We do have 165 folks watching right now. We sure would like you to hit that like button down below on your YouTube feed. That way we can get improved in the ranking and more people can watch some bowling today when searching YouTube. We appreciate that. We will post the standings, Rob Johnson, over on InsideBowling.com. And you click on the streaming banner at the top of the page. And down below, there's a tab called the Event Information tab. So we will update the scores on there, and we'll also update them on our Twitter feed. So good question. It's going to be a long day of bowling. I'll take you through the format now. We have the A squad here, 5 games of bowling, 5 on most pairs. Should take about 4 hours. And then the next squad is supposed to start at 1 o'clock. I don't anticipate it starting on time. They have to oil the lanes, but the B squad bowls at 1 o'clock. And then after that squad is complete, there's an opportunity for folks that are not in the cut to re-enter for $100 and bowl a 3-game squad. And 8 bowlers will make it off of that squad into the night squad tonight. And I believe it's, I got to double check this, but I believe it's 80 bowlers make it into tonight. I'll have to double check that number. I do have a pamphlet here. Here it is, round 2. Top 62 bowlers from each squad, plus 8 from the re-entry squad will return Saturday night and bowl a second round of 5 games. Top 37 bowlers and the top youth, female, and senior qualify for the Sunday morning round, which is round 3, where 40 bowlers from Saturday bowl 5 games starting at 9 a.m. Sunday morning. Scores are carried over from round 2 for the total of 10 games. The top 8 bowlers qualify for Sunday afternoon single elimination match play. The best 2 out of 3 games, scores from round 3, are dropped before match play. So that gives you a little update on what's going to happen. So as far as our stream schedule goes, we do have our stream here all day today. We will have the A squad and the B squad. We are not going to stream the round where the re-entries bowl, because it's going to be out of camera range while they oil the lanes to run on time. So I'm going to get a little bit of a break. And then we'll be back tonight with round 2. It should start. It's supposed to start at 7 o'clock. We'll see if that runs on time. They can make up some time. But that squad will happen around 7 o'clock this evening, and they'll bowl 5 games tonight. Should get wrapped up around midnight or so. And then tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. we'll come back with that advancers round, 40 bowlers. And then we'll have the match play for you, and we'll crown a champion sometime around 4:30 Eastern time zone. So that's a rundown for the 2017 Bradley, folks. Couldn't do it without all the great fans, the bowlers that showed up to this event, and also the sponsors. Jason Schaefer, good morning, sir. Thank you so much. Harvey Johnson, he's asking how many cash. So the top 37 cash? No, they have a cash ratio, actually. I think it's 1 in 5. I'm reading the brochure here right now. Let me take a look. I should have done a little more prep, Harvey, before I came into this event to be able to just rattle these things off to you. Hope you're doing well this morning, by the way. Let's see. It's probably in bold print somewhere like on the front page, and I'm reading through all the details right now. Entry fee, all right, there's the doubles. Let's see. One in four cashes in this tournament. 1 in 4 cash in this event. So if they have 200 entries, 50 would cash. So there you go. Yes, Harvey, everyone that makes it to Sunday will cash with the amount of entries that they have and some extras as well. Good luck. Swimming pool tips and reviews by William Kegley. He has a Clark County tournament at 3 o'clock today. Good luck to you in the chat. Good morning to Nate and to Manny. Once again, if you're not subscribed to the Inside Bowling YouTube channel, we certainly would appreciate you subscribing. We really pushed that at the holiday doubles this year, and I'm serious. I got tons of people sending me messages saying, thanks for telling me to subscribe. It's so convenient. Because when we go live this morning, I got an email notification letting me know that we went live, and people really like that because it's hard to keep up, with, we're kind of sporadic with our streams. We're not on every weekend at the same time, so it's nice to get that notification. Take you back over to Liz Johnson. She's on 26. It's the best camera angle I got, folks. Best I can do right now. Got a question, what's the 2017 lineup of streams? Well, it's a good question. We got the Fusion Realtors Open in Iowa, Joe Engelkiss and his crew. We love going there, Greater Iowa Bowling Association. That's in February. It's the same weekend as the USBC Masters. We'll be going to the Southland Bowling League, Southland Conference, which is in Texas. I believe this year might be. We streamed in Louisiana last year. It's that southern state, so we'll go and do that again. We will also go to the. We'll be at the Boom Doubles in Arkansas, the IB Open, which is still to be determined where we're going with that. We've about got that deal done. We will be at the. We're going to be doing some streaming for Junior Gold this year. With Ebonite International and the USBC. We normally do the Tournament of the Americas. I don't know if we will this year or not because it's in July, same time as Junior Gold, so I got to look into that. Holiday doubles, of course, at the end of the year. The second Fusion we do. This event. We've got about 10 or 11 events that we usually do each year. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I want to add an event too. I've got this special, unique format I want to try, and I got two friends in the business. One is KR Strike Force, and the guys and ladies over there at KR Strike Force. They want to run an event. And they want me to stream it, probably in the Chicago area. So we want to do that together at some point. And then I've also got a friend in California, Neil Lau, who owns BowlersDeals.com. He's been wanting to do a tournament as well with us. And I'd really like to go to California and work with Neil and do something that'd be the farthest west we've ever done an event, and I'd like to do that. I know there's not as many bowlers out west, but it would just be cool to go out there and be part of that. So those are a few goals of ours. But once again, subscribe to the channel, and you'll get a notification when we're streaming on the weekends, and all of our social media as well. Make sure you check that out. Hello, Jason C. Good morning to you. Yeah, Ryan, good point. You can hit the little alarm button on the Inside Bowling YouTube channel, and that will give you a notification as well whenever we go live. I'll definitely shout out the Flippers 11. Welcome in, the Flippers 11. Good morning. Novak, you know what? I actually have lane assignments here. I guess I could go through everyone that's bowling, 100 bowlers or so. I can take a look at that. Should go to Minnesota. Yeah, it's a little chilly up there. Probably would do that maybe in April through October, maybe. I'm starting to really hate the cold. I don't know why, but take a look at the scores here. You guys have been watching lanes 27, 28. I'll take you back down to lanes 21 and 22. Take a look at the scores down there. Let's see if we can pick the split here. Got Liz Johnson up for you, too. They're tough. That's for sure. Definitely tough. Last night in the doubles event, first year for it, 79 teams. It's pretty awesome. Jeff Evans and Dwight Adams won that event. Dwight Adams up on your screen right now, lane 21. And this guy can bowl. I talked to both of them last night after they got done, and I said, hey, I apologize, guys. Have you ever bowled in one of the events that I stream? And they said, no, sir. I said, man, you guys look really familiar. And Jeff Evans actually bowled the World Series of Bowling. That's where I saw him at. And he just missed the Chameleon show to make the show, like last month. He's bowling a lot of PBA stuff, bowling everything he possibly can, and had a really good conversation with those two guys. And they took down Chris Vi and Matt O'Grady last night in that doubles event. Took home $1,500. So very, very smooth and very good guys. I mean, I talked to them for like 5 minutes after we were done last night. Do I expect scores to be low? Yes. Yeah, Tony, that is Dwight Adams. Other bowlers on the squad, I'll run through them. Dawson Mayer, Greg Thomas, Jeff Evans, Brian Wallace, Michael Shipley, Mike Mitchell, Aaron White, Brad Serold, Bradley Riggs, Brandon Flora, Teddy Henry, Brett Shepard, Johnny Johnson, Robert Borowski, Jeff Leppert, Kyle Mayberry, Jeremy Coulter, Derek Reynolds, Chris Vi, John Meese, Eric Abner, Ari Wilson, Steve Taylor. Steve Taylor and Eddie Flanagan just won the holiday doubles on our last broadcast. So Steve Taylor in the house. Ricky Carroll, Aubrey Trexier, Tony Lambert, 3-time champion of this event, the only guy to win it 3 times. Wesley Johnson, Jay Roberts, Kyle Rogers, Cameron Walker, Blake Mushin, Adam Voth, Mike Moore, David Matchin, Ken Abner, Andy Campbell, Kurt Gwynn, Billy Vincent, Jacob Yazell, Jeff Wallace, Brad Bridges, Chris Corbin, Zach Cooley, Corey McDaniel, Jeff Fair, he's a champion of this event as well, Eric Grimes, Zach Doty, Graham Falk, Josh Mitchell, Matt Joyce, Dwight Adams, Robert Bailey, which is Joe Bailey, Brandon Cash, Josh Party, Bob Hale, Daniel Farish, Greg Jones, Jimmy Cook, Zach Schneider, Gene Perez, Liz Johnson, Tyler Levesque, Tyler Slaubaugh, all on this squad, Ryan Butler, Jason Connor, Michael Williams, Aaron Butte, Aaron Lawrence, Matt Sanders, Kyle Troop, Chris Cardwell, Eric Daniels, Paul Ray, Tyler Klim, Greg McKnight, Josh Berry, Austin Kaler, Aaron Hayes, Dave Wadka, Daniel Dino, Donnie Philbeck, Brian Aldridge, David Warner, Mike Eaton, Keith White, Greg McMahon, Bobby Rice, Ron Elliott, John Blackburn, Jesse Bauer, Jamie Simpson, Jeremy King, Chad Gilbert, Justin Billings, Shane Dunsing, Scott Downs. By the way, Scott Downs, ex-Major League Baseball pitcher for the Los Angeles Anaheim Angels. I think they were the LA Angels when he pitched. Anyway, I'm hoping to have Scott Downs in the booth at some point in time and talk a little baseball. And welcome Scott Downs to bowling. He just started bowling recently. So two-sport athlete in the making. Justin Adkins, Derek Patterson, Jeff Butler, Walter Ray Williams Jr., arguably the greatest bowler of all time bowling in the field today. Brian Dennis, Norman Worthy Jr., Chris Priode, Bobby Brumfield, and Chris Hester round out your squad this morning. You ready?
Oh, I don't care. I was just chilling to hang out with you.
Well, I'd love to have you.
Which one do you want?
You can go with either one, but this is 2, and that's 3. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I have a guest this morning, and I certainly appreciate when we have guests, and I even appreciate when we have knowledgeable guests like this one, and now an industry professional as of 1 year to the month. He works at Turbo and competes on the PVA Tour, and we've known each other, gosh, a long time. He bowled the very first IB Open and has supported what we've done for a very long time. He took about a year off of bowling. I remember after about our first year, kind of fried out, but since he took that year off, he's been back and committed to bowling. I mean, this guy practices more than damn near anybody whenever he can. I see him go live on Facebook all the time, and we're happy to, anytime we have a chance to talk to him and join us on the airwaves. J.R. Raymond with us this morning. Welcome this morning, J.R.
Good morning. Good morning. How we doing?
Good. Was that intro good enough for you there?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little too good. Get everybody's expectations a little too high.
Well, JR, you have been so good to us and supportive of us since Crest Bowl year 2010 that I can't thank you enough for the support that you've given this Inside Bowling organization. And we've really come a long way from our first streams. It's really matured. I'm really proud of it. And I'm proud of you and what you've been able to do with Turbo. Tell us a little bit about what's going on over there.
We got a whole lot of everything going on. We got an awful lot of new products coming out. Actually are out now. Working on some new stuff for Bowl Expo this year. Coming up here in the next few months. Actually, I think that's going on. When is Bowl Expo? May, June.
It is in June. It was
June.
moved 1 week back this year because I'm not going to be able to go to VidCon now.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset by that.
Yeah, so we're putting some stuff together, trying to figure some things out. We got some exciting news coming in February next month. We got some pretty cool stuff coming for the TurboTech Training Center, which is pretty much where I feature everything that I do.
Yes, you do.
A lot of the work that I do is in there, as well as while I'm on the road. So when I'm back in the office, I'm working in the training center, coaching and putting clinics together, which I've just started doing. I'm kind of new to the clinic thing, but I've been doing a lot of speaking and a lot of clinic type scenarios over the last few years now. Even before I was with Turbo, I would talk to kids and talk to certain people in certain situations, and it's kind of nice. It's nice to be able to do something and give back to a game that's pretty much given me everything in my life.
Yep.
I mean, it's and that's why I support so much of the stuff that guys like you do, the Inside Bowling guys, Turbo, and just about anybody in the industry that is out, trying to help the industry, trying to help bowling grow more so than trying to hurt the industry. So, yeah, with a lot of new stuff coming out, I'm pretty excited for what we have coming in the future. Actually, speaking of clinics, I just put one together. I called it the Resolution Clinic just because of the new year, and I want people to actually be able to put some time into their game and make some moves in their game to improve themselves and actually stick with it. So keep something going rather than going to the gym for a couple of weeks and then quitting like I do every year. But then I put that together for January 28th, and it actually filled already.
That's awesome.
I wasn't expecting. I mean, and I'm only meaning to do it for between 6 to 8 people because I want it to be a personal thing. I want it to be more like a closed down. I don't want anybody to be afraid of being in front of big crowds. I want everybody to be able to ask questions and be able to make it almost like it's just a personal clinic for themselves and have as little people in it as possible, rather than trying to make like a 50 group thing and make it ridiculous to where nobody can ask questions.
Yeah, basically what you're doing is you're trying to keep a small classroom setting and spend more time and attention with folks one-on-one.
Yeah, it's I've actually, over the last couple of years, this year last year especially, I've put some time into reading some books, learning some things, reading into Dean Hennet's book, Dr. Dean's book, and trying to figure out my own self, mentally more so than physically. Because, anybody can go out and just practice physically for hours on hours, but I don't think people quite understand the importance of practicing the mental part of the game. The mental part of the game is impossible to master. It's really tough. But, yeah, I'm trying to put a little bit more focus into that. My clinics will actually be geared more towards the mental aspects of everything that I've learned. I've come from, long time back in the day, starting bowling when I was 17 and not really having a clue what I was doing, self-taught, and then going through high school and getting told in college that I would never amount to anything. And it's just been a stepping stone and thing. I don't want to get into a big ramble like I'm already doing, but I don't want to.
Well, it's obviously near and dear and close to you, and you want to make sure other people can take from what you've gone through and help them in their process. So
yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it. I've been through it, so I figure the best way to teach somebody is through somebody who's actually been through it all. I'm obviously not a mental giant. Anybody who's watched me bowl knows that I'm not exactly the most calm, cool, and collected person. I am more so now than I was. I'm getting a whole lot better, and I'm still learning myself. And I know all the techniques and everything, and that's what I like to be able to teach people is that, there's training you can do. There's mental preparation you can do with visualization and everything that can make you so much better. And it's a daily process. It's not just while you're bowling. It's while I'm sitting here. It's visualization. It's seeing what you want to do. It's seeing and constantly bringing positives into your life, positives into your mind. And everybody knows go back 2 years ago or so. I mean, you just watched my antics and my emotion. Like, I was probably one of the more negative people you'll ever meet in your life.
Yeah.
And it took a lot for me to flip it around and understand that wasn't the way to be.
What was one of the biggest, like, can you look back and say, hey, this one thing kind of was the turning point, or?
I think the real big turning point was when I met my wife. I think it was more so like one of the tournaments that I went to, and she came with me. I got super mad and just flipped my lid. I went crazy, and she had to witness that. And she was like real quiet, for 2 hours or 3 hours on the drive, and just didn't want to talk to me. And that was kind of the point where it's like, okay, maybe I'm taking this a little too far. There's more important things in life, so I guess it's more so now it's trying to become more of a role model. I mean, I'm going to be a dad in 5 months, or a dad of another child, because I am now a stepdad. I got a stepchild.
Mm-hmm.
She is 4 years old, so I'm going to have 2 kids here in 5 months, and I can't have the kids coming to the bowling alley and watching me flip out and do stupid things.
Well, they want quarters for skee ball.
Yeah, right.
And I can't even ask Dad for a quarter right now. Well, that's awesome. And I see you. We can each grab one of these. These are some new additions to the booth. I'll let you hit the like here, but on what you can do is, as we look at the screen here, is we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want you to give us a like on Facebook. Aren't these great?
These are pretty sweet.
This is how you get her done right here. This is how you drive.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed. You can kind of.
I know.
You can get it done.
I know. You can go boom or boom.
Yeah. It's pretty nice.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Like the Facebook page and everything else.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if you just ask people to do it, they will. And that's what we're trying to do. Is, as you know, for the longest time, we're trying to grow bowling. And speaking of growing bowling, we're growing more bowlers as game number 2 is now underway. Mike and JR Raymond here with you this morning. And we do have an interactive chat, JR, as you know. And we do have some folks here. Tony Hines says hello to you. Paul
Hi, Tony.
Sesterik says hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
I need a highlighter for the main details on that brochure. Seems the lanes are hooking a little more this year. I heard that too, but they're still pretty slick.
Well, they are quite a bit different. I actually, after making myself look like a fool yesterday trying to bowl, I literally missed the head pin left on a league pattern yesterday. And I let my partner down pretty good, Mr. Dave Wadka. With all the things that I've been working on lately, it's kind of been hard to put it all together right now. So afterwards, I went down and they put the Bradley pattern down on the first 10 lanes, and people went down and practiced, and I went down and practiced a little bit. And Jason says, what do you think about this? And I'm like, well, what are we bowling on? What is this? He's like, well, it's the Bradley pattern. I'm like, no, it's not. This isn't. My ball's hooking. This isn't the Bradley. He's like, oh yeah, we changed oils and brought some volume down. We're going to try to make it tough in a different way this year.
Really?
And it is definitely still hard. It's definitely still tough. I practiced on it for a little bit. And, it still makes you make a lot of. You still have to make a really good shot. You just get to see a little bit of ball motion this year, where normally it's, you take 500 grit and you just throw it up 10 and hope that you get it to go through the pins a little bit. But I think, some people say, that only the power players can win that game, but I don't know. It's hard to say how this is going to go. I like when people make changes like this because people come in not expecting it, and then I guess you can say the people who adjust the best or understand the game a little bit more, or have a little bit more knowledge and equipment and all that, kind of, you watch them shine a little bit better when it comes to this. So it'll be interesting to see.
Here on lanes 27 and 28, we have Brad Bridges, Chris Corbin, Zach Cooley, Corey McDaniel, and Jeff Fair.
Jeff Fair, one of those guys that he doesn't bowl a lot, but man, that guy's good. He strikes a lot on everything.
Yeah, and I don't see Fair down there right now, but he is a short guy, so maybe he's Not sure where he is.
He's a little guy. He is
Yeah,
short.
I don't see him right now for whatever reason.
Maybe he's sitting down.
He's probably down talking to Kenny Abner. But according to my lane assignment sheet, that's who we have there. And everybody else looks right. I just don't see Fair down there. And we'll have lanes 21 and 22 for you here in a minute as well. Dawson Meyer, Greg Thomas, Jeff Evans, who won the doubles last night. Actually, no, that's not who we have there. I apologize. Let's see. It's actually Tony Lambert, Wesley Johnson, Jay Roberts, Kyle Rogers, and Cameron Walker will have for you down there.
Yeah, the interesting thing, Jason says, watch game 3, game 4. They'll get really nasty real fast. And I think he's probably right, because when we came in and bowled the qualifier on the burn, it was probably after, quite a few games had been bowled on it. And they were super tight down lane, and they hooked immediately in the front. So they were not easy at all. I think it took 570 to advance in that thing. I know O'Grady bowled one early, and he bowled 530, and he won a spot with 530. So they're definitely not easy by any means.
I'm over on Twitter right now, and Bowl4CY says, getting my ad inside bowling fix before a local tournament. Glad we're not bowling on these conditions. Got us hooked up on the big screen. Thank you for that. Chad Sador giving us a tweet out there, letting people know to come and watch. Had a question a few minutes ago about the pattern. I think JR covered that. So thank you, JR, for answering a question. Subconsciously, it was being asked. Oh, boy.
We'll go ahead and leave that one out.
Yeah, we will. We will. But, yeah, you can interact with us over on Twitter. We had a poll question yesterday, JR.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I'll see if you want to answer the poll question, and we'll review the results from yesterday. The poll question was, which surface do you prefer on your bowling ball? The options were polished, lane shine, 1,000, 4,000 Aberlon, or 80 grit chalk.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So is this a personal question?
Yeah.
For me? Okay,
yeah.
Well, I like anywhere from, 1,000, 4,000. Usually I won't go up to 4,000, because 4,000 is basically like a polish. After just a few shots with 4,000 on your ball, it shines up anyway with the lane shiny oil that gets on the ball. And I don't like polished. I need my ball to see the middle of the lane really well. So I tend to stay away from anything that is polished for the most part. There's a few bowling balls that EBI has that are looking really good with the shiny end. The Rebel is one of my favorites from just, a couple months ago when it was released or whatnot. And a couple of new ones that are coming out that look really, really good too. So, but yeah, I don't like too much surface. It just hooks at my toe and then never does anything down lane. I don't like too much polish, because then I can't get it to read the middle of the lane. So I would say C, 1,000 to 4,000 Aberlon is the better. And
50% of the people that took the survey out of 111 votes voted for that as well. Second coming in was polish at 22%. Third was lane shine at 17%. And fourth was 11% 80 grit chalk. And that was kind of thrown in there to be kind of funny. So.
Yeah.
So I think it's time that we do another poll question here today. JR, is there any, I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there any sort of poll question that you think we get some engagement out of that you'd like to ask the fans, and we can check in on it later?
One of the questions I always like to ask, just because I'm curious as to what people think, is I want to know what people think the most important part of bowling is. So whether that be...
okay, so the question is...
what's the most important part of bowling or aspect in bowling?
All right.
Or
and
what,
you have four categories to put in there.
Let's say lane play.
Okay.
Let's say fit, your bowling ball fit, hand fit. Your mental game.
Okay, and one more.
What do you think? What do you want to throw in there? Let's.
I'm going to go mental game / attitude
Sure.
on that one. So you've got lane play, you've got your feel and your fit, you've got your mental game attitude. And then do you think it would be, I would go with something like, maybe this doesn't fit this category, but I was thinking maybe something like practice regimen, the amount of times you go bowling, maybe.
You could put practice on there.
Lane play, bowling ball, feel and fit, mental game attitude. So would we say work ethic?
I think that kind of goes into mental game and attitude.
Okay, so we'll go.
You could just say physical game.
Yeah, that's
you know,
that's
like
a good
practice.
one.
Yeah,
Physical game. Practice. All right.
I mean, and I have my opinion.
I like it. We're going to put that out there.
Yeah.
J.R. Raymond celebrity poll question. And you have you're on Twitter, aren't you?
Yes. At second meanest.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. The number 2. And there you go.
Yeah, there you are. All right, we're putting that out there right now on Twitter, everybody. Go vote. The celebrity poll question is, what's the most important part of bowling? Lane play, bowling ball, feel and fit, mental game and attitude, or physical game and practice? And what would you vote for, JR?
Surprisingly enough, people are going to think that I would vote for the mental game and attitude because that's what I'm teaching a lot right now. And they go hand in hand, but I would say fit is actually the most important.
Fit?
And the reason for that is because your fit actually builds your confidence. If your fit is improper, and you don't know how the ball is going to come off your hand, if it's not comfortable, then you have no ability to make the correct physical game adjustments. You have no ability to be confident in your game and let go of everything and just bowl. So you're kind of you end up putting yourself in a corner, or you make yourself bowl in a phone booth by not having a bowling ball that fits. So, and the problem with fit is there is no right or wrong. In today's game, there's no right or wrong. There's no textbook as to how a bowling ball technically should fit. Everybody has their opinions on it, but it all goes back to comfort. It's all what's good for you. Pitch-wise, I mean, I guess you could say there's right or wrong, but again, if you need to have some extreme pitch to get you to come out of the ball a certain way, then so be it. But if you don't have proper like hole size, thumb size, and everything, you cause squeezing. So I mean, there's just so many different variables that come into bowling ball fit that it's so hard to get right. So it's the most important thing to build your confidence.
We've got 225 folks watching right now. We've got folks in the chat talking to us right now, talking a little bit about this topic. Want to get caught up on some of that. We've got Steve Harper says, good morning, Mike Flanagan. Whatever happened to you and Adam Barta and the hand hug back in the day? Yeah, I guess that kind of went away. All right, great, thank you. I'll have standings for you in just a moment. We've also got Tony Hines saying nice things about the streams. Thank you. Spare shooting being important. Mental game. Another vote for that. Spares again. Spares. The most important aspect of bowling is mental. You need a clear head and not be thinking too much when on the approach. Bowling's 90% mental. I throw many different balls, many different spans. Good morning, everyone. Many pros have said that bowling is 70-30 game, 70% being mental. Mental game, there is no other answer. Preparation is part of mental. Bowling ball knowledge is key, Mike, being as though science has taken over the game. Good morning. JR, what's your most important mental preparation? Let's go, Kyle Rogers. As always, Mike, what you do for bowling, the amount of time you put in is amazing. My husband has bowled a few tournaments you've been at. Thank you for all you do. You're welcome. Come on, guys, we need to get to 100 likes down below. Thank you for that. Keep up the great work. Thank you. You are the king of live streams. That's very nice of you to say. Mike, what is the word on the IB Open. We'll get to that a little bit later. Kyle Rogers is a beast and consistent. So there you go, JR. There's a lot to take in there.
And nobody's wrong. I mean, I would never tell anybody they're wrong. Definitely mental is obviously I just talked about it. I'll call it a tie. I'll say, because they go hand in hand. Your fit and your mental ability go hand in hand, because having good mental ability goes with confidence in your game. If you don't have confidence in your game and in your fit and everything, you have no chance of succeeding. But to answer that question about what's most important in preparation, I would say visualization, and just like I talked about a little bit earlier, visualization in this game is everything. There was actually a study done where you got 5 basketball players, and if you can read this in Mind Gym. I actually read this in the book that I read. It's Mind Gym by Gary Mack. He talks about 2 teams of 5 basketball players. One team goes and spends an hour practicing free throws to get better at free throws. They do nothing but shoot free throws to get better. The next team takes a half an hour of visualization and mental preparation, and then a half an hour of practicing their free throws. Which team do you think actually did better? I mean, I already pretty much gave you the answer by talking about it, but the team that did their visualization and practiced less physically actually did much, much better and showed much more improvement than the team that was just practicing physically. So that goes hand in hand with, bowlers. Bowlers go out and they go practice day to day, and they'll turn a lane light on and they will just sit there and they'll throw strike after strike after strike, and they'll just sit there doing the same thing over and over again. And they're not actually practicing anything. They're not really doing anything. I actually like to, there's a reason I get to the bowling center quite a bit early, and it's to visualize the way I want to do things. It's to see how I can more or less attack the lanes, attack myself, attack my mental ability, and keep myself prepared. And it's impossible. It really is. It's one of the hardest things in the world to do, is to keep yourself 100% mentally focused the entire time, because it's hard to not let little negatives in, or to not think about little things that can deter you away from the positives or the things that you're really trying to do. So to answer the question, it is definitely visualization, seeing yourself doing great things before you do it.
JR, I got a standings update here after game number 1.
Sweet.
Robert Borowski is your leader. 248 was his score. He is leading the tournament. Jeff Evans, who won the doubles last night, is in second at bowled 247. He's plus 47. Third is Chris Vi.
Team USA boy.
Yep, 243 for him.
And Turbo.
Fourth is David Matchin. He's tied with Daniel Ferris. They both bowled 231. Matt Sanders is in 6th position at 26 over. 7th is Josh Berry at 24 over. 8th, Greg Thomas at 23 over. He's tied with Kurt Gwynn. Brett Shepard in 10th at 22 over. Currently right now it looks like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27 unofficially bowled a 200 game or higher. Low game in the field was 124.
So scores definitely aren't high.
Correct. And those scores, if you want to go see how your favorite bowler's doing, just head over to InsideBowling.com. Click on the live streaming banner at the top, the text at the top, and then down below on the event information tabs, you'll be able to see the standings after that game. You're watching game number 2 right now. I'm Mike Flanagan, joined by JR Raymond here in the booth, and I appreciate him spending some time with us this morning, offering his knowledge. JR, if you're just joining us, works for Turbo. It's about the 1-year anniversary on that. And bowls on the PBA Tour and is here to try to take down this Bradley title. And if you won this tournament, JR, I know you like these events, and I know you've won a lot of the big ones. This is one you have not won yet.
Correct.
Where's this one rank up in the list of tournaments that you haven't won?
This one's actually pretty big for me because it's one I haven't won. This is one of the few of the tournaments that, pay a larger amount, I'd say 10,000 or higher, that has seemed to slip away from me. I finished second one year to Tom Smallwood a few years back, and it's kind of been bugging me ever since. I think that's the only time I've ever actually had a chance to win the tournament. Otherwise, I've not bowled very well here at all. So this year will be a really good test with, all the changes that I've made and the change in the pattern. We'll see if it benefits me at all. But yeah, this is a toughie. This is a hard one to win. I mean, there's so much talent in the field. I mean, who's this Brandon Novak guy? I mean, he just wins 2 years in a row, going for his third this year. I mean, he had a heck of a year out at the World Series this year, making a TV show and making almost every cut, 3 of the 4. And anybody that knows him, knows you see it coming. Like, you can't expect him to not make shows and whatnot for very long. He's been bowling well on everything for a couple of years now. So
we've got 70 likes down below. Thanks for the likes, everybody watching here on YouTube. You are watching game number 2. They're in about the 6th frame right now. Lanes 21 and 22 split screen with 27 and 28. So we're giving you an opportunity to look at a bunch of different styles. Over on lanes 21 and 22, you'll see the lefty in the black shirt come into your screen here in a moment. That's Tony Lambert. He's the only bowler to win the tournament 3 times. And he has won this event 3 different times. The years that he won has been 2000, 2004, and 2013. And on the right side of your screen, you see Jeff Fair is actually on your screen right now, and he is on that pair, and we did find him. And as you said, Jeff's a great player, even though he doesn't get a chance to get out and bowl so much. But he won this tournament back in 2009. JR, I'm going to let you sit here for just a minute. I'm going to go talk to the guys in the tournament office about the way we're going to update our standings. I'm going to step away for just a couple of minutes. If you want to interact with the folks in the chat and hang out, I'd certainly appreciate it.
All right, you got it. All right. Chad Roberts, JR, talk about rock tape. That's a good idea. Rock tape is one of the newest things that Turbo has brought on to be one of our products. We partnered with Rock Tape to become basically the distributor for bowling. And if anybody knows anything about kinesiology tape, you know how amazing the product is. And I was one of those guys that when Lori and Chris was like, you know what, I think we're gonna get into rock tape, or we're gonna bring in a kinesiology tape. What's everybody think? And I'm just thinking to myself, man, what's a tape gonna do for me? It's just a stretchy tape. There's no way that a piece of tape is gonna make me feel better. And with that comment, I couldn't have been any more wrong. We went down, Chris, Lori, and I, we went down to Dayton for a class to teach us all about rock tape, teach us how to implement the techniques to help us or to help others with rock tape. And it was pretty amazing, the things I learned and how it can actually help your body heal certain things. I mean, it's not going to heal a broken bone. It's not going to fix, torn tendons or anything like that, but it is something that can help with bruising, with swelling, with inflammation and pain and everything else. And that's exactly what it's for. It is a tape that you put on your skin a certain way, depending on where your ailment is on your body, and it pulls the skin away from the muscle to allow tissue and oxygen flow and everything underneath the skin to more or less be released, to let it flow properly and begin the healing process. Anybody who has ever, stubbed their leg on something or hit their head and they feel that swelling or the knot on their head come out, that's the fluid building up in there. And although the fluid is actually good to protect that area because it doesn't want to get hurt, doesn't want to get hit again, I would say it's actually not a very good thing as far as pain and healing goes. The fluid actually puts pressure on that area, and that's where the pain comes from for the most part. And the tape actually will pull that skin away and allow that fluid to move away from the part of your body that is sore. Anybody that's had knee problems, it's the same way. You see older guys have to go into the doctor and get injections and suck out the fluid in their knee because it's putting so much pressure on it. It's the same thing. Tape will do the same thing, and tape is actually really good to pull away and to do those things to help you heal, to help you get away from the pain. So That's actually one of the things I'm teaching in my resolution clinics is proper technique in rock tape installation to make sure everybody understands how to use a kinesiology tape, preferably rock tape because it is a turbo product, but anybody that uses any kinesiology tape, the most important part of it is education. I mean, you need to know what you're doing with it. I don't want people just wrapping their wrists with it and whatnot and thinking they're trying to help themselves. I would much rather teach you how to use it properly rather than just doing something to try and restrict it, because it's not about restriction, it's about movement. It's about keeping your body flexible, and that's why they call it flexible movement technology. So yeah, I mean, if there's any questions about that, I mean, you can always hit me up on Facebook or my email. The turbo email is jrraymond@turbogrips.com, and you can ask questions there. And again, it doesn't matter which tape you're using. It doesn't matter what brand. They're all good. They're all going to do what they're supposed to do for the most part. Some stick better than others. Some are pre-cut. Some are not. I mean, it's all dependent on your preference, and hopefully your preference is turbo. If not, that's not a big deal. Even if you use a different tape, give me a call, give me a shout, and I'll try and help you as much as I can. If you need more information than that, you can see videos and whatnot on rocktape.com, or you can go to turbogrips.com. We have the videos on there. turbogrips.com is probably a little better. We have the ones more directed towards bowling on there. So your knees, your shoulders, your wrist, stuff like that. So that is a little bit of a rundown on that. Not a full rundown. I don't want to take up too much time of it, but got Mike checking out his Facebook.
Yeah, I got people. Here's the thing that's funny about streaming is people text me, people reach out to me on Facebook, they tweet me, they send Inside Bowling private messages on Facebook. So
right.
I don't check them all. I miss things.
Let it be known that my Greek church only cost me 4 pins and count.
Is that all? Brad Martin. Brad, one of the kids that works at Turbo, he just started there a couple of months ago. It's probably been 5 or 6 months now. It's been a little while. But he's getting better. He's getting more knowledge into the industry, which is good. I like to give him a hard time quite a bit. It's kind of fun. He's an up and coming bowler himself. He's going out to the Masters. He went out to the Masters with me last year and learned a few things. And he's getting better. He's bowled a few regionals and he's actually improved his standings every single time he's gone out. So, but now I think his expectations are getting to be a little too high. I think he needs to start setting some goals that are a little more attainable. And we've talked about it, and he's listening right now, and that's why I'm saying it again. So he'll get better, just like everybody else. I mean, we talk about the mental game so much. It's all about preparation, goal setting, visualization, and all that stuff. So, I mean, you can't just expect to go out and win everything. I mean, you can, but you kind of have to set some goals that are gonna be attainable and make steps towards a bigger goal. Your ultimate goal is to win, but obviously you can't win, with the first shot of the day. So make that first goal a little bit more attainable, and then you can take baby steps towards other goals and move your way up. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot going on here. Mike's messing around with his Facebook page and everything, which is kind of cool. He knows more about that stuff than I do, and I play around with Facebook just about every day. Although I can't be as lively on Facebook as I used to. Everybody used to love when I'd get mad and make posts on Facebook. Doesn't really happen anymore, except about football. Get me talking about football, and I go crazy. Football is one of my biggest, it's my kryptonite, man. But then again, I'm one of those conspiracy theory people who think that the NFL's fixed, and I'm still going to believe it to this day.
I'm a little angry at the NFL.
I don't like it.
Being from St. Louis with all that stuff that went down with the Rams. But that's more Stan Kroenke, but Jerry Jones, all those guys had something to do with that.
I mean, money rules everything. It's a sad day when money rules, things that make people happy. It's just not. I don't like it. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to just do things just because we like to do things and watch things because we enjoy watching things, but It's not the way it works, it seems.
I agree with you 100%.
So I'm trying to build my credit a little bit to buy a house here pretty soon.
Okay.
So I went into and bought, or I didn't buy, but I hired a law firm group. It's called Lexington Law, who will actually go into your credit report and see everything, all the negatives that are on your credit report, and work towards getting them removed. And I have things on my credit from when I was just a kid, before I could even use my credit. I had family members using my name and social security number towards bills and consumers' energy and
Sure, yeah.
stuff like that kind of hurt my credit a little bit. So I hired these guys, and 13 different things over the last 3 months have been removed from my credit score.
No kidding.
Yeah, I've been pretty surprised by that. It's actually done some pretty cool things. I mean, it's like $100 a month or something, but as of right now, it's worth it. You know, I mean, it's kind of doing some good things for me. So,
how many points has your score gone up? Do you know?
Well, it's hard to say because it takes so much time.
Okay.
For anything to be affected. It's kind of crazy how credit works, because you do one wrong thing and a week later your score drops 30 points. But you do 10 right things and it takes a year for it to go up 5 points. I mean, it's just the way they do it. I don't understand the scoring well enough. There's other people that know all about it. I don't have a clue. I just know my score is not as good as I need it to be. So kind of trying to put it into, I know this has nothing to do with bowling. I got a text message that one more thing just got removed, so it was kind of exciting.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, hey man, I'm sure there's somebody listening right now that's typing in Lexington Law Firm,
I hope so.
And they're working on repairing their credit.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing. Problem is now I got to pay back all these darn student loans that are killing me.
Yeah. I follow a guy by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk that says that schooling is overrated and that you don't need it. If you want to get into certain fields, it's totally irrelevant. You don't need it. Yeah. Obviously, if you want to be a doctor, you got to go to school.
Right.
If you're going to be a lawyer, you got to go to school. It's very interesting. I actually, and I might catch a lot of flack for this, but I actually would say if you want to go into the bowling industry and be a lifer in bowling, whatever that may be, whether if it's running centers, being involved with a company that manufactures a product, I don't know, other than college bowling, if you need school to become someone big in this industry. I know way too many people that are successful in this industry that have not gone to college. And I know a lot of examples of people that continue to improve their schooling. I'll give you a perfect example. Chris Chartrand just graduated again at Kegel. Got his doctorate, I believe. And he's the CEO of Kegel. Brilliant, smart guy. So I'm not saying that you don't have to, but I think that you don't have to at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to deter anybody from school, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it does go a long way, though, and especially a lot of the industry leaders do look at that. When a young person is trying to get into a position like that, they're still going to look at that type of thing. Mm-hmm. If you've got the guts to get through school and finish it out, then more than likely you're going to be somebody that can help a company out. You know. See, Fred McGee, I've had them fix my credit, very legit. See there?
There you go. There you go, Fred. We do have a question a little bit about format, and if you're just joining us this morning, we are looking at somewhere around 180 to 200 entries. And the way the cut works here, just so you guys know, this morning, bowling a 5-game qualifying block. 9 a.m. we have another squad at 1. There's a re-entry squad that's available to any bowler who's already participated in A or B. The re-entry squad starts 30 minutes after completion of Squad B. Each bowler will bowl 3 games in that squad, moving 1 pair to the right after each game, and the top 8 bowlers will advance to round 2. Scores will not carry over to the round. So top 62 bowlers from each squad will make it to round 2. So 62 bowlers from the squad will make it, plus 8 from the re-entry squad. And then tonight, those 62 bowlers plus the 8 bowlers, so 70 total bowlers, will then take to the lanes tonight and bowl 5 games, with pins not carrying over.
It's more than that. It is 124 bowlers because of 62 from each squad.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Because I remember years past when the cut basically didn't matter. There was only like 1 or 2 in each squad.
Yeah.
Because the format hasn't changed in years.
So 132, is that 44 times 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 3 on a lane. That's what the numbers are. Yep, you're right. And then from that, 40 come back tomorrow morning to bowl, and those scores do carry over for round 2. Bowl 5 more games, and then the top 8 qualify for Sunday afternoon single elimination match play, best 2 out of 3 games. Scores from round 3 are dropped before match play. So there's your update on that. Also, if you are looking for standings, see how your favorite bowler's doing, you just head over to Inside Bowling, and it's all listed down underneath on your event information tabs for you.
Coupon code for the Turbo site. It's not a bad idea. I wish I kind of had one. I do have coupons for Turbo Tech lessons, but that's about it for that. I know we do sell the rock tape out on the website. At least I think we do. Don't quote me, because I don't know if it was a limited time thing or not, if she was going to take it off of the website, but I'm pretty sure you can get on there and see it on there. But otherwise, just about every pro shop has it now. I don't want to say every pro shop, but a lot of pro shops have it now as an option.
Morning, David Billingsley.
I haven't seen the length or the volume of the pattern. I haven't seen a sheet for it,
I haven't seen it either.
so I'm not quite sure on that. I don't know how to answer that. Tournament with 6 qualifying games across 6 different patterns, cash around on long, short. I mean, there's been tournaments like that. I mean, there's a lot of tournaments that use different pattern during a tournament, so you're bowling a game on each pattern as you move across the house. So, I mean, anything would help. I think a lot of people are trying to do something different. Is this considered a sport?
It looks like it is up there. Somebody just ordered it. Ken Roper ordered some of that tape.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Bradley Martin, I kind of agree with you on the row bar question about all these different patterns. It's a logistical nightmare for the center and the bowlers. Are you talking about different squads for the shots? Yeah, I mean, that would be difficult, especially when you trying to burn the pattern into a lane machine. I guess you'd have to put one pattern in, double strip, run it twice, then just skip all these lanes, put out that pattern, do it again all over again, then go run those lanes across the house. It's probably a pretty expensive tournament, and that mechanic would probably need to be paid quadruple time. Hi, Austin. Austin Bedolla. How are you today?
Okay, I was going to skip that question, but I guess I can't, because
Which one?
It's hard. It's hard to skip. Is this considered a sport? I mean, it's yes. I mean, it has to be. I don't think most people who look at bowling don't see it as a sport because they don't see it as a physical demanding game. But they also don't take into consideration the preparation, the physical ability, the athleticness that actually does take to throw a bowling ball, a 15 or 16 pound bowling ball over and over and over again, 60 feet down the lane, using mostly your legs, and hopefully not a lot of your arm, but you do use your arm, and you use a lot of different muscles. So, I mean, I've seen 300-pound football players go and bowl 5 games and then complain the next day because they're sore from not using muscles they've ever used before. So, yeah, I mean, when you take into consideration at a professional level how many games these guys bowl over and over again, week in, week out. I mean, what was the Japan DHC Cup rating? It was 24 games of match play in one day.
Yep.
Go bowl 24 games in one day and tell me how you feel the next day. I mean, it's just, And it's not like we have people carrying our bags from lane to lane like in golf where you have a caddy carrying your clubs for you when you're just walking down the course. Golf's considered a sport, and all you're doing is swinging a club. So as a sport, it comes down to a little bit more than just physical demanding like football. Running, jumping, hitting, throwing a football. I mean, it's more than just that. It's about the mental capacity you need to compete at a high level, I think is the best way to put it, more so than just physical demanding things. So, yeah, I would definitely say bowling is a sport. Unfortunately, in bowling, there's an infinite amount of variables that go into the game, and a lot of them are uncontrollable. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we haven't seen bowling in the Olympics really yet, is because there's so many different variables. Because not everybody's bowling on the same thing. There's topography issues. Sure, you could set up a pair of lanes for just Olympic competition, but even after time, that lane changes. So unless you're re-oiling after every single shot, everything changes every single shot. So those variables change. There's so many uncontrollable variables that you can't do anything about. And you could say the same thing in golf. There's wind, there's divots, there's, ball marks on the green. There's just every sport pretty much has variables, but I think bowling has the most uncontrollable variables, and it plays a huge role in the eyes of people. Everybody looks at bowling and they say, "Oh, I'm going to go bowl. I'm going to go bowl, and I'm going to go have some beer. I'm going to eat a full pizza, and that's bowling." Well, that's not bowling to me. That's not how it is. Bowling to me it's an art form. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of dedication and practice and mental fortitude to actually get and master this game. And you can officially say that there's not one person in bowling who's ever mastered this game. Nobody's ever been close.
No, you're right.
Why haven't we had a Tiger Woods of bowling? Because there are so many uncontrollable variables. Sure, we've got guys like E.J. Tackett right now. He's dominating right now. He's won what? 4 titles in the last couple of months, and we don't bowl very many tournaments.
Right.
So how good is he right now? But he's not a Tiger Woods of bowling, and we'll never see that because of the variables.
Yeah.
Because you can throw a perfect shot and not strike, or a perfect,
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not necessarily perfect because racks can be off. Pins can be off spot. There can be you can throw a perfect shot and the ball be a little bump behind the pin on the pin deck, and all of a sudden your ball hits it and goes. It's just there's too many things that can go wrong. And that's, again, it goes back to the mental capacity. How well you handle all those variables determines how well you do in bowling. How well you control the controllable variables versus how you let the uncontrollables control you. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, but it's a dream at the same time because you can conquer so many different things in this game and watch yourself get better and better and better. You go out and you play golf and you hit that one shot, 300 yards dead center down the fairway, and all of a sudden it's like you want to play every single day, but you may not hit a shot like that again for the next 3 months. And it's just like bowling. You bowl that one perfect game where you shoot 300 and you felt like you threw every shot perfect, and it's like, you know what? That was awesome. I want to do that every day of my life. But you can't. And that's what's so awesome about it. It's so hard.
We had some folks in the chat here commenting about my jersey. They like my ugly sweater jersey, and that they asked if they could still purchase one. And yes, you can go over to logoinfusion.com. And I'll tell you what, this weekend you can save 20% because they're sponsoring the event with the coupon code Bradley17. Bradley17 saves you 20% over at Logo Infusion. Make sure you go over there and you can order. There's actually an inside bowling section on there, and this shirt is on there. You can have the Hammer logo put on there as well if you like, or your favorite ball company. Hopefully it's Hammer, because Hammer's a sponsor of this event. Also, New Center Consulting. Thanks to all the sponsors of this event for supporting scratch bowling here at the Bradley. And as far as the whole sport question, my chiming in on that is I call bowling a game. The game of bowling. And that's just my preference. I like to call it a game. but I also like to call baseball a game, and I believe both are sport. I like the movie for the love of the game, and there's something about bowling when I think of bowlers. If you bowl things like this, you love bowling, and I just love that statement for the love of the game. And if you love it, you're going to sit in a booth and stream for 18 hours straight. If you love it, you're going to drive in an ice storm to go bowl an event. The things that bowlers do for bowling is unbelievable, and there's love for the game of bowling. But most definitely it is a sport. It's video games is considered a sport these days, and that's kind of my final resting place of video games and poker. Somebody else mentioned in the chat poker's a sport. Bowling's definitely a sport. So I don't even know how that question ever came up either. Somebody went out there and said bowling's not a sport, and then all these people that love the game of bowling got fried.
Yeah.
And then people just keep asking it. It's like a buzz question. Hey, watch this.
Yeah.
Is bowling a sport? 45 minutes later. 45 minutes later, and somebody's sitting back there going, ha, 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 look what I did again.
You know, I can't believe there hasn't been a question on there that of somebody trying to get me riled up. And usually a question like that would, but there. I mean, you don't have to defend bowling. I mean, bowling is bowling. Everybody loves bowling. It's the most participated sport in the world, or game in the world, however you want to look at it. I mean, it's just, there's so many people that love this game, that love this sport, and it's never going to go away. I mean, everybody always says, well, you know, bowling's dying. How's bowling dying? We're in a bowling center right now with 200 bowlers bowling in a tournament. I mean, bowling is far from dead. Bowling has been on a rise. The things that are happening with the PBA, the things that the companies inside the industry itself, with Turbo, I'll say Vice, and you know the bowling ball companies, EBI, Storm, everybody has a common goal. Sure, there's competition between everybody. Everybody wants to make a little bit more money or sell a little bit more product. That's how it goes. That's business. But everybody has that common goal and are working for the most part together to better bowling. It's always going to get better. It's never going to stop. Everybody has bowling at the top of their interest when it comes to people inside the industry. That's it. But yes, I am going to, I've just recently, I wasn't going to travel with my clinics at all, but because I travel every other week and I go into areas, I am accepting. I have a few people who have reached out and said, hey, I want you to bring your clinic to my area and teach some of the kids and some of the, you know, I have some bowlers out here that really, really want you to come out. So I'm going to extend that, and I am going to go to certain areas to run a few clinics. And again, I'm trying to limit each squad. I mean, and then they're just 4-hour clinics. It's going to be basically 2 hours of class time and 2 hours on the lanes implementing everything we just learned in class. But I'm going to limit it to 6 to 8 people per squad because I want it to be a smaller group. I want everybody to get the most out of it. I don't want it to be a group of 20 and then nobody want to ask questions because there's so many people and they don't want to feel, I guess for lack of a better word, dumb for asking a question. So it's meant to be for people to get more out of something rather than just being in a big group and not being able to get much one-on-one time. So, and that's why, you know, and I did this thinking about an event like Collegiate Expo that Turbo runs. You know, we get, you know, basically 300 kids. I'm just going to throw a round number out there because it keeps growing every year. We keep filling it every year. And then we get close to 20 of the best coaches in the world to come out to this thing and help all these kids. So you get so much one-on-one time built in groups, and you get class time, and you get speakers like Dr. Dean to come in and talk about mental game. And, you know, and I'll be there coaching this year again, and we'll have Chris Sand on the mic and helping with coaching and everything. And all of our Turbo representatives, all of our pro staff guys, for the most part, will be there, and girls. A lot of the best women bowlers in the world are going to come out and help everybody, and you just get so many high school kids that are so excited about bowling to be in this event. And so I wanted to create something a little bit more for not just for high school kids, but for college kids, for adults who are just wanting to learn to get better. People who are getting ready for a senior tour. I have a couple of guys who came to a clinic the other day who are coming out to my clinic on the 28th, just because they're about ready to turn 50 and they want to get ready for senior tour stuff or for senior tournaments, and they want to understand a little bit more about the game. So, I just want people to have options. I want people to be able to learn as much as possible. That's what we're there for. That's what guys like me, what companies like Turbo do. We are there to build bowling. We're there to build bowlers and make bowling better. Because the better people get at this game, the more people are going to bowl. The more people are going to want to bowl, to bowl tournaments, to help others get better. It's a never-ending cycle that continues to get better year after year, and we have guys like Mike Flanagan who run tournaments and do live streaming and show people bowling all over the place, and it's an amazing thing that how many people we have in the industry that are willing to put forth some effort to build the game. What else can you say?
I want to thank some folks for the positive comments here.
I am not ranting.
Great what you guys are doing. Also, some housekeeping things that we need to get to. We flipped it over here to lanes 27 and 28 at the beginning of this game. Just want to let everybody know who was on these lanes. Kyle Mayberry, Jeremy Coulter, Derek Reynolds, Chris Vi, and John Meese. And we also have 21 and 22 for you. And they just got started. They just got underway. And we will take you down there here in a little bit. And that's Dawson Meyer, Greg Thomas, Jeff Evans, Brian Wallace, and Michael Shipley. So we'll have those folks for you here in a little bit when we bring in the split screen. I'm Mike. This is JR Raymond, and we're here at the 2017 Bradley Open. This event, this is the 38th annual Bradley Open, JR. I was born in 1979, and so was the Bradley Open.
Wow.
It's very easy for me to come here.
You guys are old.
And know how old this tournament is. hasn't missed a beat.
I don't know what it is. Old jokes to me never get old. See what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
But like with Wadka, I give him garbage all the time because he's 4.5 years away from senior tour.
Yeah.
And Chris Sand back at home at the office. He don't like it at all, but I love making old jokes. I love making old jokes.
I just saw a post yesterday. Michael Haugen Jr. is bowling his first PBA 50 event today.
Nice. There we go. I didn't even know he was that old at this point.
Yes, Tim Durrett. I am giving ladies credit this morning. I featured Liz Johnson earlier today. There was a thing that happened yesterday that I don't think is ever going to go away from Inside Bowling, where I was asked to give credit to female bowlers, give them their credit by a fan here live in the building. Someone that was supporting Collins Bowling Center last night quite a bit stopped by and was in the booth for a few minutes. So it was quite a hoot. And when I get everything archived, I can't wait to go back and listen to it.
I'm going to have to listen to this.
So, yeah. Yeah, then see, folks that were here last night, Drew and some of the other credit, Mike, give the credit. It's pretty funny. Need more credit, Mike, give credit. Ties in nicely with JR's Lexington law firm this morning about credit. Yes, and her name was Beth. So, yeah, there were folks that were in last night. Late to the party, but here now. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let's help Mike raise bowling awareness. Thanks, Eric. Always on the top of the game. Great job. We need to encourage the younger crowds to bowl. We need a Beth radar. Oh, man. We are kind of like, we like to say we're the MTV of online bowling streaming. You never know what you're going to get. And that is true. You can stop by, and one cool thing that I do like about what we've done is we have an open door policy for people to come into the booth. Like this morning, JR just came up and sat down. And that's one of my favorite things is because whenever you tune in, you never know who's going to just sit down and be on the air. And last night we had a very rare evening where we had some folks that were enjoying some libations and popping into the booth. And Derek Roseberry actually got fined $80 last night.
Ooh.
It's $20 per word that can't be said on the air.
Oh.
So there were 4 of those.
Nice.
So that's my new rule. If you slip up while late in the evening while having libations and you sit down in my booth and you screw up, it's $20 per occasion before you can get back in the booth ever again. So
wonderful.
Roseberry owes me $80.
Somehow my wife is now in the chat.
Nice.
And her last name is still Kovac on there. Woman, you need to change that.
Yeah, and I think you just do that by going up and clicking on your little circle up there on the right, and then you click the little gear icon, and you can go right in there and change your name. Let's do something for fun here, JR. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but I'm going to give you a YouTube lesson, and everyone at home can follow along as well if you open up a separate browser. Go over to youtube.com, and then over on the left side of the screen on YouTube, you just scroll down and you select the browse channels. And then it brings up a bunch of categories, and we click on the basketball for sports, and then you click on sports. And then you scroll down and you can look and see what live sports things are happening right now and in what order of ranking that people have them rated. And currently right now, I'm proud to say, on the sports channel on YouTube, we are the #1 live stream. We're not the most watched, but we are the #1 live stream because of their algorithms and because you guys keep hitting that like button down below and because you're typing so much in the chat and there's so much engagement. We are higher than Lakeside World Darts Championship that has 7,515 people watching right now.
Nice.
We have 295 watching, and we appreciate that. This is the most we've had the entire weekend so far.
You're welcome.
You're right. But over here in the darts channel, they've got darts going on, 7,610 watching over there.
And look how many people are in that room.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible? Every time, sometimes I see it on TV and I flip by and I see it and I just see a big crowd. And lights like that, lights all over the place, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I stop and I start seeing people throwing darts and people going nuts. I'm like, man.
Yeah, these
how
guys
do they get
are
these crowds?
actually walking out, giving fist pumps to people who play darts. Very interesting.
Yeah,
So,
I mean it's kind of like Bayside Bowl, for the PBA. That's kind of how it is
right now. Yeah, pretty cool. So, but we are ahead of this stream right here right now because of all of you in the chat. So, really cool that we're #1 right now. So, thank you guys for that.
Yes, 7,000 people watching darts. I know, right?
And we are up over 100 likes now down below. We have 110 likes this morning. That's incredible. Just to put that in perspective, let's go back over to the darts. They only have 96 likes with 7,748 people watching. And that's when I was talking about the love of the game type deal earlier.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. There's only 11 likes over here on World Indoor Bowls Championship, whatever that is. Bocce or something. Anyway, so pretty cool.
Pretty neat.
Yep, 7,000 people are watching darts.
Okay, so go ahead and do that, Tony.
Yeah, I can give 50 more people here. Thank you, Mike, for everything you do for the sport. No problem. Share it then, Tony. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Chris Ennis. Good morning to you as well. At this point in time, I mentioned the players on the other pair, and I'm gonna bring them in after we see this split picked up. Nope, almost.
Just about.
So here we go. We'll bring in 2 pairs at once, 21 and 2, 27 and 28. Thank you, Josh. Up to 125 likes now. Yesterday we had 170-something likes, and at the end of the night we only had 120-something people watching, and it's very rare to have more likes than you have people watching.
Right.
So I am going to stop the stream today, though, for archiving purposes. So after this squad, I'm actually going to go off the air for a little bit. I'm not going to let it run as one continuous stream all day. And the reason for that is for archiving. For whatever reason, YouTube, when you go longer than about 5 hours, it cuts off like the last hour, and sometimes I need to grab some of the audio and stuff from that archive, so we'll have to keep doing that. I'm about to leave for a birthday party. I do have my phones and power banks, so I can continue to watch. Thanks, Arnarian. That's cool.
See, so now we're watching some of these shots. They're getting super tight down lane. I just watched a guy miss the head pin to the right, and he's two-handed. And he's not even that far left. Now he's in at like 15, 16, and he didn't get it any further right than probably 7 or 8, and it never, ever decided to make the corner. So it's really interesting to see how much they're getting chopped up. A lot of the lane play is going to change a little bit here. I see some people starting to migrate to the right as they get tighter, so it's going to be different. I think they're a little flatter on the inside part of the lane. I think that's. Oh, I just watched. Yeah, we just saw. Was that Greg Thomas?
Yep.
Just made the 4.67. That's pretty cool. Bounced it right out. So that's one you can archive later. That was pretty neat. Gave you the old fist pump with the power arm. Oh, no. Dang it. Now I got to go change my shirt. Somebody's wearing the same shirt as me. I guess that happens when you wear a staff shirt. I screwed up the other day. I've been running I've been helping to run the Turbo Facebook page for a little while now, and I made a post about the guys that made Team USA, the guys and the girls that made Team USA, and I forgot Chris Villa. Is it Villa or Vi?
Vi.
Is it Vi?
Yeah.
I forgot Chris Vi on there. I don't even know how I did it. But and then somebody messaged a little bit later and said, "Hey, you guys, you forgot Chris." And so I had to apologize to him and send him a message, be like, "Dude, I'm so sorry. Like, I messed up. I don't know how I didn't see your name. And I don't even know how I didn't even think to know you would have been on that team automatically, basically." So
Right.
We switched it up and made a post for him, but I felt so bad about it. I had to send him a message. It's like, dude, I'm sorry. That's like one of the best accomplishments is to be on that team, and you don't even get any love. Like, that's bad. That's my fault. So, Chris, if you watch this later, again, my bad. Although I think we have him. Yeah, we have him on camera right now. Coming up on lane 27. See, and he even just missed the head pin to the right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're getting sloppy now. What game are we in? 3? Getting sloppy. The fronts start hooking a little bit, and you want to start moving your angles further left. And as soon as you do that, they tighten up down lane, and your ball doesn't want to go through the pins or get to the head pin. So you start seeing a lot of people migrate to the right a little bit. And he missed the 1-2-4. It's unfortunate. But Chris is a really, really, really good bowler, so he'll bounce back from that and be just fine. You know, that's the incredible thing about bowling is when you watch the guys out on PBA Tour and you kind of compare them and you're like, man, I don't understand how, like Walter Ray could win so much with some of the flaws, and I say flaws very, very lightly because there really are. It's hard to call anything a flaw nowadays because there is no right or wrong when it comes to bowling for the most part. Well, you watch somebody like Walter Ray. How does he win so many times when his physical game isn't as good as say like a Bill O'Neill or something like that? And again, it all comes back to it's all the mental preparation. It's all everything you do with your mind during the event. I don't feel like I throw it any worse than anybody on tour. I feel like I'm fairly accurate. I pretty much know where the ball's going all the time. But it's all knowledge. It's all experience. It's all mental fortitude. What you can do to keep yourself mentally focused the entire time. And the guys that stay mentally focused the entire time are the guys you see making show after show and are doing the right things throughout the entire event. That's the big difference between everybody out on tour. The guys who are successful are those guys that understand where to be mentally and not get over emotional or under emotional they stay at a pretty even keel. And I know that's not the most fun thing to watch, but they do it for themselves, and I've kind of started doing it myself, not letting myself get so upset about certain situations or certain bad shots, because what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can really do about it after it's done. You can only try and move forward into the future. So it's just, it's such a grind. It's so hard to learn, and it's so hard to continue to get better at. But it's a must if you want to be successful.
JR, when I get guests like you sitting in the booth, it allows me to play around a little bit and learn this stuff a little bit better. Normally, I don't sit in this chair. I normally have Matt Turek with me, and he does all this, so this is kind of foreign to me a little bit. But I do have a replay of Chris Vi after he missed the head pin, and he came back on the right lane. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and tell me what you see. Angle's pretty tight up the back of it, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he's another guy that you see him migrate to the right. And I'm sure he was playing further right to the early. He might have been in a little bit, maybe 3 or 4 boards further left to start when the back ends were a little fresher. But now as the lanes start to break down, you can do, a couple different things. You can either move right and get your hand up the back of the ball and roll it through the pins a little bit better, or you can try and move left and close your angles down a touch to get the ball to go through the pins. I mean, it's all preference, whatever you're more comfortable doing. And yes, there probably is a better option, but again, it's just what's going to allow you to make better shots or good shots to keep yourself in it, especially when the scores are low. I mean, and there's only going to be 30 people out of this squad cut, so you just got to make the top 2/3 of this. I mean, do you even take chances? Do you even consider making a move you're not comfortable with? I highly doubt it. I think you're gonna just do what you need to do to keep yourself in it and move on and just learn from what the lane's giving you and see if you can improve in the next block tonight once you get there.
And we're staying here on 27 and 28 because they are 5 frames ahead of 21 and 22. So we will have the bowlers on 21 and 2 for you for the duration of their game as soon as lanes 27 and 28 are complete here at the 2017 Bradley Open. I want to thank New Center Consulting for sponsoring the event along with Hammer Bowling. I'd also like to thank Logo Infusion. You can use that coupon code Bradley17 to save 20% this weekend. Also our other sponsors here, Ace Mitchell Bowlers Mart, Brooks Electric, Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Fireball Whiskey, United American Supply.
We got Chris Vi up here on the left lane on 27. So that looked a little in from his last shot. It looked a little in and it actually sat there. So that's a good night for him.
Here's the replay.
Watch it just labor just a little bit. Didn't want to completely get through the pins, but having all that power and speed behind it, being a two-handed bowler, that helps definitely a lot. It's one of the more popular releases coming up now. I see an awful lot of kids learning to bowl that way, and I don't at all blame them for it. I mean, you're seeing an awful lot of success from guys like Jason Belmonte and Oscar Palermo, and now Anthony Simonson coming through the ranks, and it's pretty incredible to watch. Your Jesper Svensson, the list goes on. There's quite a few guys that throw it two-handed, and you're seeing it more and more and more every day. And it's up for determination. I mean, so I guess your preference. You got a lot of traditionalists who think it's not right, that don't like it. You got, a lot of new people who, or not, I don't want to call them new people, but people who are more just straight, I don't care, bowling is bowling, throw it however you want, but I'm not either or. I don't not like it, and I'm not 100%, like gung-ho, everybody should do it. I just, I think it's great for the sport because now it's getting a lot of young people to bowl because it's an interesting, different technique, and they like seeing it on TV. They like when Jason Belmonte or Anthony Simonson is on TV and they can throw it like that. So that is actually, like back in the day when I used to watch a whole lot of videos and say, I like the way this guy throws it. I want to throw it like that. There was a whole lot more to trying to throw it like that. Whereas with two-handed, there's a few techniques to do to it. And don't get me wrong, it's super, super complicated and it's It's definitely not an easy thing to do by any means. But for the most part, you can duplicate it, not to the level of these guys that are doing it, but these kids can watch it and they can go and do the same thing. So it's neat for them to be able to go out and duplicate it or copy it and throw it like some of their favorite two-handed bowlers. It's kind of cool.
Got standings after game number 2 is updated 13 minutes ago over on InsideBowling.com. Matt Sanders, your leader, at 74 over. He bowls games of 226, 248. Josh Berry's in second at at 70 over. Greg Thomas is 59 over in third. Zach Doty is in fourth at 52 over. Kyle Troop, fifth at 46 over. At 38 over in sixth is Jeff Evans. Kyle Mayberry sits seventh at 35 over. Eighth is Shane Dunsing at 24 over. Ninth, Mike Eaton at 20 over. And Ricky Carroll's in 10th at 19 over. 18 bowlers in the field are plus currently, or even. And they take 62. Currently right now, minus 49 through 2 games is your cut number. You can see all that on InsideBowling.com underneath the event information tabs. Thanks to the tournament office for updating that for us.
Yeah, so scores have slowed down quite a bit since the first game.
Yep.
And they're going to continue to slow down after game 3, you'll notice. I just think they're going to get more and more squirrely. They're going to get a little bit weird down lane, and they're going to hook more in the front.
Take you back over to the completion here at 27-8, and then we will finish up with 21 and 22.
Yeah, Fred says, but it's only because of them that people are using 2 hands now. I'm not really a fan of it. I understand where you're coming from, and there are a lot of people that are like that, and I'm not going to say it's a wrong mentality to have. I mean, it's just a traditionalist thing. It's bowling. Some people say that bowling was meant to be, one-handed. I mean, you can make your, opinion however you want. You're not wrong. I mean, you're not right. I'm not wrong. I'm not right. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm all for anything that's going to help the sport of bowling. Anything that's going to get more people bowling, I'm all for it. It does make it tough to compete with those guys, that's for sure. They're able to do some things that only, in my opinion, a couple of guys in the world can do one-handed. And you're seeing that with EJ being able to create that power and revolution. So for anybody to say that they really have a distinct advantage, I mean, that's not really true, because there are one-handers who are able to create and duplicate that type of power. So it's interesting to think about. It's a conversation to have for sure, without trying to make it a big debate. I mean, it's just a new style of bowling, just like when people started bowling with no thumb, one-handed, just to try to, they thought they could hook it a little bit more doing it that way, and they do, so I mean, it's just another stepping stone.
We do have 2 of the top 6 bowlers in the field on this pair. We have Jeff Evans, who won the doubles last night. He's in 6th at 38 over, and we've got Greg Thomas, who was in 3rd coming into this game at 59 over. I will pose a question for you, but I do want to check on our Twitter poll question from earlier today, which was celebrity poll question. What's the most important part of bowling? Lane play, bowling ball, feel or fit, mental game and attitude, our physical game and practice. And currently right now at 31% mental game and attitude leads, 29% bowling ball, feel and fit, 23% lane play, and 17% physical game and practice. Pretty even.
Yeah, and I would say that's pretty close to right. I mean, you see bowling ball, feel, fit, mental game, and attitude pretty much neck and neck.
Yeah.
And those two go hand in hand, in my opinion. I mean, like I said before, if you don't have the correct fit or feel, your mental game's out the window because your confidence is gone. So they go hand in hand for sure.
What's up, Big Cotton? Welcome. And Neeraj Narkeed, welcome. Mike, Patrick, the rest of the folks here in the chat. Glad you're interacting with us. Thanks for all the likes, everybody. We're at 135. We've surpassed 300 viewers today. So good morning to you wherever you are throughout the United States and beyond. We had someone from the United Kingdom on earlier. But I do have a question for you, JR. If you had to bowl an event and you were given 3 different options on how you could bowl in this event, you can pick, but you have to declare before you start, this is the way you're going to bowl the entire event. And it's a fairly medium format as far as amount of games. Let's just take it that way. It's not a marathon, but it's also not a short sprint either. It's a medium tournament. And I'm going to give you 3 options on how you can bowl. And everybody, you choose and you bowl and you compete.
Okay.
Okay? $100,000 first place.
Okay.
All right. Option 1. Your entire lineup of equipment that you bring in cannot have any holes in it, and you must shot put the ball down the lane. Every shot. That's option 1, the shot put.
Okay.
Option 2 is you can drill a ball however you want, as many as you want, with your normal fit. You can bowl your normal way, but the ball has to be 6 pounds.
Okay.
All right? That's option 2. Option 3 is you can bowl how you normally bowl, but once you step onto the approach, only 1 foot, and it has to be the same foot, can be on the approach the entire time as you're delivering the ball and as you come back until you're on the tile floor. Then both feet can hit the ground. So you have 3 different ways you can bowl. The shot put, bowl regular, but it's got to be a 6-pound ball, or you hop on 1 foot. If your other foot comes down and touches the approach, you get 0 for the frame.
Woo. Man, that's tough. See, I would have picked that if I could have hopped my way to the foul line and just, threw it from the foul line with my foot down like I normally would. But
yeah. So what would you pick?
I don't think you would have a choice but to do it with your normal fit with a 6-pound ball. I mean, I would have to. It would take some getting used to, but at least then you could kind of go through the motions and just take things slow. I mean, I don't know though. What if your ball shatters? Do you get another one?
You got to have enough.
Okay, well.
You get to bring as many balls as you want, so you have to be prepared for it.
That's tough. That's tough, man. That's an odd question, but it's tough. I mean, it's, man.
Okay, so here's the question. If there was actually a tournament like this and there was a $100,000 top prize, would you enter the tournament?
That's a tough one. Well, what's the entry?
A couple $100.
I mean, I think it would be fun. I mean, I'd do it for fun. Sure, why not? I mean, it'd be cool.
Would it? Do you think an event like that would attract a bunch of viewers?
Viewers, yeah. I think it's going to attract a lot of naysayers too. Just the people. That's not bowling. Those kind of guys.
Right.
So I mean, I think it'd be fun. I think it would be cool.
Supposedly there are people that shot put the ball pretty well.
Yeah.
That's what I've been told. And there's some guy that would win the tournament. I forget who they said, but that's why I put in the stipulation you can't put any holes in the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's no holes. You just shot put it. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough. I would take my chances with a 6-pound ball. I mean, I think I could. I don't know. Shot putting might be better because you can use a heavier ball, but I'd be tired after 6 shots. I wouldn't be able to throw a ball after 6 shots.
Just think how strong your one leg would have to be if you hop to the line. Feeding Frenzy says shot put. Tony, it was 3 options. You can shot put the ball, but you can't put any holes in your bowling equipment, and you have to compete that way. One is you use a 6-pound ball any which way you like. You can drill it for yourself, however you like. And then the third option is you just can only have 1 foot on the approach, all the way to the line and all the way back. If the other foot comes down, 0 for the frame. That would be really hard.
It'd be impossible.
For $100,000.
You know what? I changed my mind. I would do the 1-hop thing, and I would just throw it from behind the approach.
Wouldn't that count as a foul if the foul lights are on?
Nope, it does not. The ball can cross the foul line. Your feet cannot.
Okay.
Loophole. I used to practice a little bit just for giggles, throwing the ball from behind the foul line, from back of the approach and stuff. It was fun.
I don't think I told you or had you weigh in on the tournament format that I want to try. And this is a for real. This isn't a ridiculous one like I just did. This is a tournament idea that I came up with a couple months ago, and I think it would be really a lot of fun. And I don't really see this as a gimmick tournament. Some people might, but I don't see it as a gimmick tournament personally. So here's the deal, JR. You bring 6 bowling balls to this event. Those are the only 6 balls allowed. You fill out a ball card, and you have to list them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so once you fill it out, number 1 is that ball, number 2 is that ball, number 3 is that ball, and so on. Okay. We have a huge wheel at the front counter. It's like a chuck-a-luck type wheel, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on this wheel. All right, so the whole field goes out. You can get in brackets and everything, and you bowl the first game with your 6-ball arsenal. The top half of the field gets to keep all their equipment. The lower half of the field, whoever has the lowest half of the scores, the wheel gets spun at the front desk. Whatever number gets drawn, that ball gets taken out of your bag. You have to go put it in the graveyard. Okay? Now you're down to 5 balls. Everybody shoes up again on the same pair of lanes. The first 3 games are conducted on the same pair of lanes. You're not moving, just for efficiency purposes. And you have to be in the top half of the field to not lose bowling equipment. All right? If the wheel spins and lands on a number of the ball that you've already had eliminated out of your bag, you then have to remove the ball that's 1 number higher in sequential order. So you continue to lose equipment. So everybody would be guaranteed at least 6 games. And that's if you finished in the lower half of the field all 6 games. You'd be guaranteed 6 games of bowling. And the person left on Sunday, it'd be a 2-day event, with bowling equipment, would win the tournament. You would win the tournament. You're the only person with bowling balls left.
That is interesting. That's interesting. So it's not necessarily about, I mean, it kind of is about knocking the most pins down. Because
it sure is.
Then you get to keep your equipment and whatnot. But, yeah, I mean, you're going to look at you're going to see a lot of traditionalists that are going to say, well, now you're not making it a fair field by doing that. Somebody that bowled bad those first couple or just didn't match up, and it could go on and on and on. But it is different. I mean, you kind of got me baffled by this because that would be something interesting to see. And just knowing how bowling is, knowing how people in bowling are, I mean, it would probably be a nightmare. But it would be fun.
But the strategy going in, building arsenals, and the people posting on social media, getting ready for this event, what do you guys think I should do? I'm thinking about taking 6 Legion solids, 3 pin down, 3 pin up. Like that might be a ball you would maybe drill. I'm just thinking of you and balls you've liked and stuff like that. I was just using you as an example. Like, what would you do? There'd probably be no spare ball. There's no sense. You just have to flatten it out.
Sure. Yeah. That's not a bad idea. I think it would be really cool because then you're bringing knowledge into it a lot. As long as you're showing the pattern, you're telling people what they're bowling on, the surface they're bowling on and everything. Let people pick their arsenal however they want. They get 6 balls.
Yeah.
The people who know the most about bowling balls and lane play and lane topography and about the house and everything else are going to do the best. Because then they can they do that. They can drill 6 of the same ball with 6 different layouts if they want, or just 2 different layouts, and be just fine.
I would announce the pattern, and I would let everybody know the first day of elimination where it would never be a re-oil.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if you had 100 players, that would take a long time. But we would stop. There would be a time limit on Saturday that the bowling center could then have open play and parties in the evening. So we don't even know how far we're going to get on Saturday. But 5 o'clock, we're done for the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's
everybody that's left comes the next day, and we keep dwindling it down.
Well, I mean, it's just like the World Series of Poker. I mean, you never know how long that's going to take.
You're exactly right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. You never know how long it's going to take.
Yeah, so that's a format I really do want to try. I really do want to try it because you can still get in brackets. There'd be 6 games of brackets guaranteed for everybody. So you still can run some brackets, make a little money for running your event, being able to offset the expenses and stuff and some lineage and junk like that. And really, at the end of the event, it's not, how like I like to poke fun because I don't like how everybody like posts about the bowling ball and not themselves. Like
Sure.
this ball here won the tournament. Well, okay, I guess the human being didn't do anything. You know what I mean? I really think that because staff contracts and the way they're set up and stuff and how you have to talk about the equipment and everything, I think it's people are kind of tired of that. So this would be kind of poking fun at that a little bit. Because it's the last ball standing, not the last bowler standing.
Right.
I mean, the bowler's there with the ball, but it's an opportunity to say, hey, this was the best ball. All these balls were entered into this tournament, and this is the ball that was left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I try to do things a little different when it comes to social media and bowling balls and stuff. I mean, you got a lot of people that, just like you said, this was the best ball. This ball won me the tournament. No, I don't even really do that for the most part. I like to go live when I drill new stuff and just show actual shots.
Yeah.
I don't build a video. I don't go on and say, here, watch this shot. Look how good the ball goes to the pins. Because anybody can go and make a video and pick the best of the 20 shots you threw and, just post that one. I like to actually go live or go and just create a video showing, 5 shots in a row, trying to throw the same ball, and watch how it reacts. Like, it just give people a real idea.
Yeah.
None of this sugarcoating stuff. Be honest and let's just. And I think that's, that's what's so. I think that's why EBI is doing so well, is because I can do that, and they still look great every single time. So I don't have to sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? I can just go do that, and the balls look good themselves. So it's not, you don't have to go and make a video and cut out your worst 6 shots and,
right.
Make sure you don't show the one that washed out because,
you just go live and give a real what's happening in the
make
in
it
the
real.
video. Yeah.
Be real about it. Don't try and fake anything.
A couple other ideas here in the chat. House shot tournament, if you don't shoot 200, you're eliminated. Rinse, repeat, cash. Got it. How about this idea, Flanagan? How about this? Let's say you have a 36-lane house. Turn all the lanes on, put a different condition on certain lanes, and total pinfall after bowling on all lanes wins. Yeah, okay.
Kind of like Peterson.
It's 18 games. Make a cut and repeat and have a winner. Yeah, I mean, those are all good ideas. This idea here, though, like where you put the bowling balls is so important and fun. Like, do you get like cart girls and dress them in bikinis and stuff?
Yeah.
And they actually roll the carts out onto the approaches and stop at each pair, and you have to put your bowling ball into the cart as they haul the balls away to the bowling graveyard. And it's like sponsored by Red Bull or something, and it's.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be pretty
I don't
sweet.
know. I also thought about you have one pair of lanes that aren't in play right in front of the live stream booth, and everybody has to walk out onto this stripped lane with no oil on it and set their ball on the thumb hole.
Oh, yeah.
All in that area. And all of a sudden, like, you take pictures throughout the day and do a time lapse of how that area just fills up with bowling balls.
And somebody would accidentally trip on one and start a chain reaction, and the balls would just start going all
everywhere.
Over.
Yeah. The sweep comes down on the.
Whoops.
But I really do want to do that format. It's a personal thing. I want to see it play out. I want to see it. And it may be a one and done. It might happen one time. It might be the worst idea ever in bowling. But I think I can get some support on it.
Yeah, I think it would be neat.
I just think that there would be a lot of people taking to social media before, during, and after the event talking about it. And when you get people to talk about it and things like that, there's some excitement about it. Because here's what I compare on the opposite end of the spectrum. And I don't want any proprietors to listen to this and say, oh my gosh, why is this guy bringing light to this? Because you can change it. Let's think about league bowling and the typical 7-point system in league. 2 points for a win, 1 point for total. It's time for a new season. August, September, you shoe up, you got your 5 teammates total, you and 4 other people, and you're out bowling league. What happens 5 or 6 weeks into the season as you look at the standings? There are some teams that have no chance of winning, yet they leave their job after a hard days of work. Sometimes the weather starts to turn bad. They're running late to league. It costs money to do it. They're going to hang out with their friends, but from a competition standpoint, they're a loser. And they know they're going to be a loser for the next 10 weeks before they have a chance to be a potential winner again. And I believe because going to league and that's not fun for people mentally, that hurts league bowling, and that's one of the largest driving forces of why people quit bowling league, because it's not fresh and exciting every week with the format. And when that second half starts, all of a sudden, like, everybody's rejuvenated, and bar sales usually go up when the second half starts because everybody, and snack bar, because they're like, all right, here we go, fresh start, let's do it again. We finished 8th out of 12 teams, here we go. And then it happens again, and then it starts to get nice out, and your kids are involved in t-ball, soccer, whatever it may be, and then you're like, you think we could get a sub for me tonight? And I don't know if I want to do that again for so many weeks. And then you're in your league meeting, and the president has to bring up, and the secretary, hey, many of our league bowlers don't want to bowl 36 weeks anymore. We only want to bowl 30. And then the bowling center freaks out, and they're going to have to close their doors. So they're like, well, how about you bowl 36 and we give you the last 2 weeks free? And they try to bribe them. And all these different things happen throughout the country. I don't like it. I'd much rather have it where you show up to league, and based off your scores that night, the next week, there's money in an envelope for you based off how you finished the week before, and you start over every week and it's fresh. And if you want some sort of like end of the league seasonal pod as well, great. Maybe the bowling center rewards you with a $25 gift card if you have perfect attendance and you bowled every game in that league. You get something back at the end. There's an incentive for you to show up every week. I just think things like that need to be challenged in bowling today.
Yeah, I don't quite understand. I shouldn't say I don't understand, because I do. I just don't know how I feel about it. But with the way league prize funds are, how many leagues do you know where everybody's paying the same thing, and you win the league and you get $20 more than the team that finished last? It's pretty much the same way. So at that point, it's kind of like, why are you even putting into the prize fund? Like, why is there a prize fund at that point? And I get it. For a proprietor standpoint, you have that prize fund, so when they get that money back at the end and you do a party for them, they spend that money generally at the bowling center, drinking beer, eating food, whatever it may be. It depends on what it is. But, I put one league together in my lifetime where it was actually a money league, and I actually went out and got sponsors, and it was a 5-man team. We filled it with 24 teams.
Coming into Game 4, by the way, real quick, they're in the 5th frame over here as they are ahead. Walter Ray Williams Jr. comes onto our webcast right now. Keep going.
Oh, okay. The flat 10. So so I put together this league. It was a 5-man team. It was like a competition league. It wasn't a scratch league. It was handicapped and everything. But there was a league cap. You had or a team cap on it. You couldn't have an average over so much or whatever. And it was good because first place ended up paying $5,000 for the winning team. And last place ended up getting what was it, $500 or something. So there was a bit of a difference between the top and the bottom. But there was still money added, or there was still money that everybody was getting to be able to spend at the center. So, granted, it took sponsors and stuff, but I don't understand why leagues feel like the bottom has to pay the same as the top. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Why are they even bowl? At least break it up, make it noticeable that the guys that bowled 33 weeks or however long that league is are making, you don't necessarily have to make money, but you have to get back more money than the people at the bottom. That's competition. So now we're just basically handing out participation awards again.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows me knows I'm strictly against participation awards. You either win or you don't. Sure, you want a ribbon for finishing second because you did a good job. Yeah, that's fine. But getting that same ribbon for finishing last, is a little ridiculous to me. I think it's just all out of hand, and that's all right. Now you're going to get me fired up. Now I'm going to have to stop talking about that. So anyway, so the Lions stink. Oh.
Yeah, 27 and 28. We have Justin Adkins, Derek Patterson, Jeff Butler. I know Walter Ray is down there. I'm trying to find my sheet here that tells me who else we have down there.
Brian Dennis.
Brian Dennis and Walter Ray. Does that fill it out then? I guess so. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, you know, like when you're bowling a tournament, what's the most exciting thing is cuts, like cut scores, where people are bouncing around. Even on the PBA Tour, you got the ball rep saying, the number's this guy's in. You got people, I mean, people, this is the most time people are walking around. You got other guys watching scores and walking around. What did he have? What did he have, right? Imagine that third game of league every week if 5 teams cashed in a handicap shootout format. You would have the teams walking around. Hey, we got a chance for 5th. Did you see what they bowled the last game? Oh, 7-10. Oh, all this excitement would be happening every week in the league. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we cashed.
Yeah.
All right, we got the envelope next week.
No.
You know, and then for the proprietors, when you get handed cash as a team, what are they going to do with it?
Yeah. Buying rounds.
They're going to spend it in your bowling center.
Yeah, that's generally how it goes. That's
So-
why I understand. I mean, you can't take prize money away because of that reason. But I just don't understand how it's not divided properly.
The pair crossings, they do move together as a pair.
Yeah.
I had a question here in the chat. 343 people watching, 143 likes. We certainly do appreciate it here. We do have the A squad right now. We're on game 4 of 5, as you see on your screen. And then at 1 o'clock, the next squad is supposed to start. They do have to oil, so I would imagine we're going to run a little bit late, wouldn't you say? It's 11:25 right now, so
for sure.
probably about 2 o'clock. Should make up some time on that cashers or on that re-entry squad, though, hopefully. So. I also like the idea, JR, of a league where, you know, bowling centers put the same shot down pretty much for every league. It's your house shot. It's what everybody bowls on. I like the idea of when you bowl league, you have options of what you want to get in for the week also, to where you compete against everybody in the bowling center. So if you pay the $5 high series pot for the week, pays the top 12 spots or something, whatever you wanted to do, there's a leaderboard in the center. You can go online on the website and see what people shot each night. So if you bowl on Monday and that's when it starts, and you shoot 8:30, you go back to the website. You might even stop by the bowling center on the last night if you're locked in for $500. You might go watch and see if somebody's going to beat your score that night. Show up, walk around. They're like, ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Raymond, 8:23 Monday nights in the building.
Yeah, everybody knows that's a lie. I don't shoot 800.
But, you know, that would be, but it's optional. You don't have to get in it, but it's there for the people that want it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think a league, and again, I wasn't able to do it. I managed a few different bowling centers in my day, but I didn't have a big opportunity of putting leagues together for myself. We usually had somebody who took care of that. We just kind of oversaw it. And it was all the same thing over and over again. All the leagues were basically the same. We did change them a little bit sometimes, but I would like to see, you know, they should have where the prize money where the money you're putting in towards lineage and prize money, a certain amount does go towards a nightly thing. It should pay out something nightly, not just pots or anything like that. Or like Brad says, maybe this elimination thing where, you know, half the bowlers each night, each game get eliminated and you move on. So that gives you an opportunity to make money that each night, you know, based off of the money you're putting into your envelope. So, I mean, it's something a little different. I think it would be good and bring a little bit more excitement into it, because I think people are getting tired of the traditional leagues. That's why a lot of league bases are down right now. Leagues are, I mean, they don't feel like they're bowling for anything anymore. I mean, yeah, the camaraderie's there. You get to go bowl with your buddies and stuff, and when I bowl league, that's pretty much the only reason why I bowl. But now, I mean, it's becoming such a competition nowadays that everybody wants to be bowling for something, you know, so maybe we need to come up with something, or proprietors need to come up with something a little bit different.
Oh boy, that's left to target. Walter Ray knew it too. I will tell you that Walter Ray's never been on our broadcast before, and this is a real treat having Walter on here, participating here in the Bradley this year. Keep in mind, we're taking the top 62 bowlers from this squad. You can check out how many bowlers are on this squad over on Inside Bowling, down at the bottom on the event information tab. And they have standings after 3, just updated. Matt Sanders, your leader. He bowled 686 to start. Kyle Mayberry's in second. He bowled 664. Greg Thomas is in third, 658. Followed by Brett Shepard, Steve Taylor, Mike Eaton, Jeff Evans, Kyle Troop, Zach Doty, and Daniel Farish. Currently right now, 14 bowlers are averaging 200 or more out of the 100 bowlers we have on the squad. Currently right now, the cut score is 529. Aaron Lawrence for 3 games. Outside of the cut, some names here that I recognize. Daniel Dino is just outside. Ari Wilson is just outside. Jimmy Cook is 22 out of the number currently. It's a surprise.
Wow.
Just kind of looking around at a few of the names.
Scott Downs.
Yeah, Scott Downs. Major League Baseball pitcher.
I mean, he's literally brand new to the game.
Uh-huh.
He literally just picked it up. Wodka was telling me a little bit about everything there, how he just bought a couple of bowling balls, and he's really good. Basically texting him back and forth for the last 24 hours about bowling, trying to figure the game out. So, I mean, he just wants to do something new. I don't blame him. Shoot, it's fun. But I think he's realizing how right away how it's not exactly the easiest thing in the world to do.
Right now he's on lane 26.
Is that Scott Downs? Oh, so he's right in front of us.
He's on that pair. Zero Sinky says, bowling's a nice sport, I have to say.
It is. It's a very nice sport. It's fun.
Honeycomb says that they've always worn cleats when they bowl.
It's not an easy thing to do.
Do you know when I was in high school, I convinced some people that not only did I play indoor bowling, but I played outdoor bowling, and I had special cleats to help me slide. And they believed me. Yeah, Flanagan's got these special cleats. He says that you need them to be able to slide outside. They're cut almost like a knife when you move forward so that you can slide in the dirt. I said, yeah, and when we do that too, often we heat up the mud or the dirt beforehand. They put heaters out there overnight, so when you go in, it's a nice smooth slide with the cleats.
Oh, yeah, here's Scott right here in the blue, big guy. You can tell he's just got that baseball build. Isn't it weird how you can just tell a baseball player from anybody else? It's so weird how that is. He's coming up in the 10th frame with a 3-bagger, actually. You can get that camera flipped around to see.
Yeah, we're gonna cover Scott Downs here.
Big guy here in the blue.
Here we go. Got him up on the screen. Got our camera here. That's Scott Downs, Major League Baseball ex-pitcher.
He retired, what, 2014, I believe? Left-handed. There we go. All right.
Scott Downs played for
That's a
the
five-bagger.
Chicago Cubs, Montreal Expos, Toronto Blue Jays, the LA Angels, spent some time in Atlanta with the White Sox, finished his career with the Royals in 2014.
Yep, that's when, Kansas City lost to the Giants in the World Series.
He finished with a 38-40 record in Major League Baseball as a starting pitcher. Over his career, he earned a 3.56 ERA, 2.06 strikeout to walk ratio. I'm looking to see how many strikeouts he had in his career. He had a whip of 1.34, 575 strikeouts, and 751 innings pitched. And right now, he's throwing strikes at the Bradley Open.
Yeah. That one ends a five-bagger there, but he's shooting 234 this game. He was one of the better middle relievers of the game. I don't know how many games he actually was a starting pitcher. I know most of his career he was a middle reliever. So that started
yeah, you're right.
His record is a little skewed because of being a reliever.
He pitched in 81 games in 2007 with a 2.17 ERA.
Yeah, so that's a pretty solid year right there.
1.22 whip that year for Toronto. Went 4-2 in his relief appearances. So welcome to bowling, Scott Downs. Happy to have you in the field and happy to have you on Inside Bowling. Good luck to you and your career as you move forward, sir. Wonder if he's friends with Burkett.
Probably. That might be probably who got him into it, I would imagine.
Could be. I am pleased to say that we are still #1 in YouTube streaming, live sports streaming right now, and I want to thank everybody for that. It's all your comments in the chat, all the likes down below that are making that happen.
Look at that. We're all the way up to 363 people watching.
Yeah, and we're ranked ahead of the World Darts Championship that has over 10,000 people watching right now.
A mere 10,000 viewers less.
So pretty cool. And of course we've got Walter Ray up on our screen. It's a pretty good morning. We've got some good stuff happening here. Anytime you got Walter Ray on your pair. He is just finishing up now though. So 27 and 28. Just about complete. That's going to do it for that pair. We'll take you back over to lanes 21 and 22, where they are 5 frames behind, still in game number 4. J.R. Raymond joins me. I'm Mike Flanagan, and we're glad you're with us here at the 2017 Bradley Open. We're in Lexington, Kentucky at Collins Bowling Center. This is the Eastland location. They have a couple of centers here in the area. I want to thank the entire team here, the Collins family, and Jason Ushwald, the tournament director, and all the fine staff here for hosting this event. 38th year in a row consecutively that the Bradley Open weekend has happened here. It's a long time. Over on lanes 21 and 22, we have Mike Eaton, Keith White, Greg McMahon, and Bobby Rice.
There we go. That's officially like my first or second selfie ever, by the way.
There you go.
I guess it wasn't really a selfie, though.
Honeycomb, no, we don't do that at halftime. Heard that ESPN tried to get darts big in the U.S. with the World Series of Darts, but they canceled it after 3 airings. Okay. J.R. Raymond just tagged me in a post on Facebook. Saw that. Let's see what else we got going on. Let's see if anybody's tweeted us. What time does B Squad start? I responded to that. Okay, I guess we're all caught up there. Go over to the old Facebook, 17 notifications. There's JR. There we go. Get some controversy going. All right. Let's see. Oh, speaking of which, Kimberly has shared our broadcast today. Tom Hess also sharing it. Tom Hess says today, join Mike Flanagan for a whole lot of bowling today from Kentucky. He's covering the Bradley Open. Over under he put out in words spoken last night was over 1 million. Tune in to see if he makes it. Oh yeah, how's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm going to.
So we are in game number 4, and J.R. Raymond has left the booth. He's got to get ready for his B squad that he's going to bowl today. I want to thank J.R. for his time that he spent in the booth with us this morning. I really enjoyed some of his thoughts and opinions on what's going on with he and his career with Turbo and all of his things that he does with bowling and bowling on the tour and everything. So young man's really turned his life around. He's got a new outlook on life, and I think you heard a lot of it here. So really enjoyed the time with JR. And thank goodness today I've got great guests, and I've got another one just joining me now. Danny Collins here, proprietor from the Collins family, joins me in the booth for the 2nd year in a row. It's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a good tournament so far. Big turnout last night, a change in the way things were done with the doubles versus the other one. They were here a little bit later, a lot later last night, weren't they?
We were here kind of late. I made it in this morning with no problem, though, so I get a gold star.
All right.
If you don't mind giving me one.
Well, I was battling a little head cold last night, so feeling fine, but, you know, didn't want to pass that along to anybody.
Right. So I remember last year I got to meet you. It was our first year coming and streaming the event. Of course, you've had the event, streamed before. And we really appreciated the opportunity to come down and be part of it. But tell me what's going on since last year with your bowling centers.
Well,
you guys got a couple locations, and what's shaking?
First of all, you all do a great, terrific job with this live stream. This is a great technology. It would be, I mean, it's just interesting to watch. It's nice to see, and how you can bring all this to right inside the homes of everybody, or to watch it later on. That's exciting.
I can't believe we do it still. I mean, it's crazy to think of what technology has done. This is an ESPN truck, basically, that I can put in the trunk of my car and drive and go do it.
You know what I like, too, is when you walk around with the camera. You mentioned that it's a little shaky, but I noticed that it's really pretty steady, actually, and it's kind of cool to walk around and see people live like that. And the commentary and the live stream, it all just adds extra to this tournament and keeps everybody going.
Yeah,
so,
we've had an increase in entries this year. So maybe last year shining a spotlight on it, people marked it on their calendars, and now we're seeing some residual from that, hopefully.
Right.
So, so you've got this location.
Yeah, and we've got Southland as well, and this one's under lease we sold it a few years ago, and we're leasing it from car dealer that purchased the property, and so we're a long-term lease with that so that we can have it as long as we need it. And we're still evaluating if that's going to continue. We've got the options, so we had a good year last year, and we'll see what happens the rest of this year. We'll keep everybody informed.
Oh, great. Okay. This tournament's been going on for 38 years now, 38 years consecutively. There's not too many tournaments that go on that long.
Yeah, it's changed over the years. Jason's really brought it up to a different level here in the last few years with all the sponsors, the live stream, and attracting a lot of pros. And people really enjoy it. It's done very well. Yeah.
I remember when I came in last year, I saw the center for the first time. Kind of a traditional bowling center. You've got the wall separating the concourse and the bowlers area. It reminds me of the Brunswick centers that were designed and built in the mid to late 80s. But you've done a nice job with the synthetic lanes, good surface here. Whenever they design and put out a pattern for this event, always the scoring pace is kind of right where you want it. You got the full masking units that go all the way up to the ceiling. You got a nice bar here, beautiful bar you have in there, and you've done a really nice job with keeping the center up and changing with the times. You don't always see that when you go into a center.
Yeah, this used to be, when it was built in 1959, you stepped down into the bowlers area. It was kind of like you took about 3 steps down and it was a pit. But back in 1990, when we remodeled, we added 12 lanes here, went from 32 to 44, and filled up the bowlers area and made it kind of one level. You do have a little step down, just one, but it wasn't step down and then back up on the approach. You used to step up on the approach. And I don't know, it seemed to be a good move at the time to level it out and, expand the lanes.
Yeah, definitely a good thing to do. I do remember, though, because I ran bowling centers myself, when we leveled a center one time, we got a lot more dust and dirt on the approaches, but we were also able to host some special Olympics events and some other things like that as we became much more user-friendly when it came to being able to help with people in wheelchairs and stuff like that. So I think that's always a good move to do so.
Yeah, these synthetic lanes are overlaid on top of the original wood lanes. And so the first 12 lanes, lanes 1 through 12, are not that way, but you still have a consistent feel throughout the house. And years ago, being in the bowling business, we had to resurface these lanes every year when they were wood. And you talk about dust, I mean, sawdust flying everywhere.
Absolutely.
We'd close for a week every year to do that.
Yeah, and you lose the revenue.
Yeah.
So synthetic lanes are definitely the way to go. I would imagine sometime down the road it'll be almost 100% synthetic lanes.
Yeah, and we put new pin setters in 2001, brand new GSX pin setters. So that was the, we had A2s in there, Brunswick A2 machines, and they were breaking down quite a bit. And these are, I wouldn't say maintenance free, but they're a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, that is one thing that we haven't, knock on wood, we haven't seen in my year and 1.5 days of coming here. Pin setters have run like a top.
Yeah.
.366 viewers watching right now, 157 likes down below. We're talking with Danny Collins, proprietor here. Now, your entire family's involved with this, right, if I remember correctly from last year?
Yeah, my dad is here this year. He's up from Florida. He had a car accident in September, pretty serious one, and he's recovering from that. He had a couple surgeries on his back, and he's up walking around now, but he's staying up here. He lives in Florida. He's a Florida resident, but he is here now, and he's here with me today walking around. I might try to get him on here, but I'll see what he wants to do. He may not feel up to it. I don't know, but and my brother and sister are not involved in the business in the operational end. They are owners. So, that's pretty much it. It's us four.
Are you bowling yourself at all?
Yeah, I'm bowling on Monday nights, and my bowling hasn't been that good this year. We've got 5 people on our team and 5 subs, and boy, those subs, they love to come in and bowl. So I haven't. I've been able to take a little time off with it, and I need to get back practicing more because my average has dropped.
I will tell you, when I ran bowling centers, I tried to practice as much as possible in the afternoons, go out and see some customers, try out some new equipment, get some people talking. And since I don't work in bowling centers and I do a lot of this digital marketing and I do a lot of sitting down, I found myself getting a little bit out of shape, and I got to get back to the lanes myself. And believe it or not, bowling does kind of help you out as far as like, when I would bowl, I'd bowl like 20 games in like 2 hours, like super fast. I'd sweat profusely, and I was a maniac out there on the lanes, and I miss doing that. I got to get back out and start doing that again.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, Jason was doing these qualifiers, Bradley qualifiers. So you'd put the Bradley shot out, and for $50, you could come out and bowl 5 games to qualify. And we did that. That's the only time, believe it or not, that I've bowled on the Bradley condition.
Oh, okay.
And last year I averaged 206 in the leagues, which is good for me. And I shot a 148 first game of the Bradley, and it was humbling. Just couldn't pick up those 10 pins.
That completes game number 4 down on lanes 21 and 22, and game number 5 is well underway on lanes 27 and 28. We'll take you there now. We got a new group of bowlers on your screen for you, everybody. I will tell you who those bowlers are here momentarily. We have Greg McKnight, Josh Berry, Austin Kaler, and Aaron Hayes. Aaron Hayes, actually, I'm familiar with him. He bowled the holiday doubles tournament that we do in St. Louis, and I believe it was 4 years ago. He and his partner Butler won that event. You like my signs there?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So here we'll just bring it in. Yeah. So that's what this is how you market your business these days. You get on social media. And you can like us on Facebook, Inside Bowling, and you subscribe to our YouTube channel right there, thanks to Danny Collins.
There it is.
That's how you do it. Got all these trinkets and stuff up here now. I'll tell you what, the future of technology and the way you promote, I'll ask your opinion on this. You're a business guy. I do digital marketing now. That's kind of how I put food on my table.
Yeah.
I have some very, very high-end, high-profile clients, including Ebonite International, and my relationship with them is just phenomenal, and I really enjoy it. And I have other clients that I pick up as well, and normally when I quote them a price or let them know the amount of time and effort and how they're going to get some ROI, a lot of this stuff is tough to manage if you're not selling direct to consumer. So I can't post something and then with a certain code or link and then say, well, they bought this much. because they can't sell direct to consumer. So it's all just, here's our impressions. Hopefully you're selling more product. But one thing that I've used recently is kind of a sales pitch, and it is true, is do you remember paying for Yellow Page ads?
Oh yeah, that was it really was expensive, and
But you had to do it,
yeah.
right?
Toward the end, it was kind of like, do I really have to do this? I don't want to do this.
Because people didn't need a Yellow Pages
Yeah.
anymore. But when it was in its time
Oh,
and
yeah, you
everybody
had
had
to.
that, your Yellow Page, like it was the easiest sales job in the world, I think.
Oh,
You
yeah.
walk in, you say, all your competitors are in bold. Do you want your listing in bold? Well, how much is that? $1,200. Well, okay. Now I can give you for $3,000. I can give you a box where you can highlight up to 5 things you do at your business, and you will stand out against your competition.
Yeah.
Do you want that? Oh, wow. Well, let me tell you about Bob. Bob did it. He owns a tire store, and Bob saw a 23% increase in sales because of that ad. Would you like to do it? All right, yeah, go ahead and give me that ad. Now, I can put your logo on the page for an additional, you know what, normally it's $3,000. I'll put that logo on there since you're doing this other package. We call this the Platinum package for an additional $1,700. What do you say? And by the time you're done doing this, you're like, okay, all right. And then people call and, hey, how'd you hear about, Yellow Pages? Oh, okay, great. Well, you don't pay that money anymore. That line code on the P&L statement is gone.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, you need to replace that line code with social media. That is today's Yellow Pages.
Yeah, the Facebook advertising and the Google ads and all that kind of stuff is seemingly more effective now. You can put the right kind of, I don't know a lot about it, but I get on the phone with those people and they tell me what to do. They tell me the keywords to search and all this kind of thing. So if you type in Collins Bowling Centers, it'll pop right up, or you type in group bowling, it'll pop up, let's join a league. And, I pay a lot for it, but it's interesting, that search engine marketing.
Yeah, and that's where it is. So it's just interesting how everything has changed. And
well, like with this tournament, Jason has done a real good job with Facebook and utilized Facebook throughout, from last year's tournament till now, the conversation threads that happen through Facebook and how the bowlers can communicate one-on-one with the tournament itself. And, it's been very useful. That's probably helped grow the entries.
absolutely.
And I noticed that last night you're using all the things available for you, the, what's the Instagram? And, different things like that. And I noticed some of our customers are out here Snapchatting videos of Walter Ray, and they really enjoy doing that. So
Yep.
it's cool.
Yeah, that's how we've built this whole brand, is through social media. The first tournament we ran, we didn't ever send out a flyer in the mail to any bowling centers. We didn't even print any. It was just go on the website, go check it out. But we're to the point now where we need to keep growing that base, because so many people would tell me, oh, you had a live stream last weekend? I didn't know that. So now we're encouraging people, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll get an email or a notification on your phone, hey, these guys are live streaming a tournament. Then you can tune in for a few minutes, and then you find out when the final's going to be, and then you go do what you need to do on the weekends and spend time with your family, and then come finals time, you check back in on the tournament and see what's going on. Or if you want to get up to speed or just check in, you go over to Twitter and you get an update on the standings, or you go over to the website, or you go to Facebook, you see some things that are happening. Somebody bowls a 300 game. Oh, I can watch the last frame on this instant highlight on Instagram. And that's
now YouTube is a free resource for anybody to post videos. We use
Correct.
it and things like that. Now, for your live stream account, do you have to pay a fee to have this doing this?
No, not at all.
That's amazing.
Actually, they pay me.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Very little. But I can even show you here on my screen, go a little behind the scenes. And when I go into my creator studio, I'm just kind of talking on air, a little behind the scenes for everybody. And you go into my analytics, you can go and you can look at, my watch time. So far in the last 28 days, we streamed another event. We have this event. We've got 1,515,346 minutes of bowling has been watched on our channel. And the average time that someone stays on and watches is 19 minutes and 51 seconds.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so almost an entire Friends episode, with commercials out of that. I think those things are shot in 22 minutes.
Yeah.
It's about what we average. We had 76,298 different unique views. And the revenue that our channel created from people watching a 15-second ad, we've made $163.64 to put towards equipment, cameras, things like that, stuff we want to do to improve our broadcast. So, and then it shows you each particular broadcast and how much revenue was made. So, for instance, the holiday doubles, the all-day stream on that day, generated about $40 for us. So but what I want to do eventually, and this would be the pie in the sky grand idea, is if I had millions of viewers, for every 2,000 views, or for every 1,000 views on YouTube, you get paid about $2. So if you had 1 million views, you do the math on that.
I don't have my calculator.
It's about 20 grand.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you do. If you got that kind of viewership, I could do a tour where I just pop from center to center, and I actually come in and pay the center a large sum of money for using the facility. I can pay out a lot of money, not charge as high as entry fees, and it can all be funded from the people that are watching at home. That's like a grand goal of mine.
Well, that's pretty cool. Keep that in mind.
I don't know how sustainable that will be, but
yeah.
Take you down to the last pair that we do have remaining down here on lanes 21 and 22. They're in the second frame.
I do want to say we serve a good lunch here. Have you do you eat the lunches here
I do.
on Saturday?
I do.
For all the bowlers, we provide I think it's usually been a roast beef and mashed potatoes and good home cooking type of stuff. Feel good food. So you can eat at your feelings if you have to. But it's a good meal. We take care of our bowlers on this tournament.
Just talking about those YouTube numbers, there's this website called Social Blade.
Yeah.
And you can type in any channel you want and find out how much money they make.
Oh, interesting.
So there's this guy that I follow. He's my favorite YouTube guy. His name is Casey Neistat.
Uh-huh.
And he's like a daily vlogger. He's retired from doing it now, but he still posts videos. I started following him on January 24th of 2016, and he was at 2.5 million subscribers at that point in time.
Yeah.
He's now at 6,200,000 something subscribers, and if you click on his channel, you can see that in the last 30 days he's had 46 million views.
Oh, wow.
And he's making over $2 million a year posting videos to YouTube.
That's amazing.
And it's all right there for you to see. So, like, for instance, just yesterday, he picked up 4,800 new subscribers. To put that in perspective, this channel right here.
What does he do? How does he?
He just posts new videos every day.
Yeah.
Like, of his life.
Okay.
I mean, he's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he lives in New York City. He rides an electronic skateboard around the streets of New York.
I think I've seen him. Heard of him. Yeah.
He gets invited to all these industry things and stuff like that. He went to the Oscars and stuff like that. But he didn't start there. He started washing dishes, and had a kid at a young age and things like that. But you can go look at his entire journey on YouTube. I'll give you another example as we just kind of talk through some things as you're watching game number 5. I'm sitting here talking with Danny Collins here at Collins Bowling Center, the Collins family, hosting this event. So I'm going to go look at a guy named Marquez Brownlee. Okay, and who this guy is, Marquez Brownlee, he is a tech reviewer on YouTube, and he has 4.1 million subscribers. He's making about $1 million a year or so, roughly. He's picking up 4,000 subscribers a day for his tech reviews. But if you go over to his channel, you can look at his entire journey from the very, very beginning of YouTube. So Marquez Brownlee, I'm going to type him in. And what's so cool about this, and people at home can go do this too, you click on Marquez Brownlee, and you click on the videos tab, and then you go to in order, and you go from oldest to newest. This is his video from January 1st, 2009, when he was 12 years old, and he reviewed his mom's laptop, okay?
Yeah.
And he never stopped posting videos to YouTube. And here we are 7 years later, and he's the #1 tech reviewer on YouTube. And now he's posting videos of quality such as this. And this is him all grown up doing Q&As with beautiful picture quality. And Nintendo and Samsung and Apple, they invite him to come to their events.
That's interesting.
And he's made a nice living for himself by sticking with YouTube.
Have you heard of the guy, Gary Vaynerchuk?
Oh, I know. I talked about him earlier today. Gary
Yeah.
V. I know Gary very well.
Plug his name in there. I want to see how he's doing.
Yeah, he just started doing the daily stuff, Gary V.
Yeah.
The Daily V stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very familiar with Vaynerchuk. So his particular channel is
Wow, he's not making as much as those guys. I figured he was the king of it.
no. He's very good on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that. He's only been vlogging for 127 days.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you look at his channel growth, though, his monthly subscriptions, you know, his curve is going up. He's putting out more and more content, so he's going up.
Yeah.
You're catching him at kind of his hot spot when he's starting to explode. So,
Interesting.
yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk, his claim to fame is he's always, in his businesses, has invested in the white space where other people are not.
He's,
what he talks about.
He's a New York guy, so he's a little edgy and uses the profanity a little bit loosely on his sites, but that's how he communicates to the markets that he reaches.
It is.
Very effective, though, for him.
Tim Math is very nice. Says, Mike, I think your live streams of bowling is the best. You have some great imagination on the whole bowling industry. I appreciate that. Got to keep it going.
So how did you get started on live streaming bowling? What was your first poke at this, or something like that?
I'd be more than happy to tell that story. So here's the deal. I was running a bowling center in Florissant, Missouri for an owner in his late 70s. And I was brought in through a mutual friend because his center was struggling. And quite honestly, he was in the heyday of when you just open the doors. Very successful micromanaging guy. Well-accomplished bowler in his own right, but really didn't understand birthday parties, cosmic bowling, database growth, how to motivate millennials. Just was a little out of touch, and he knew it. So he hired me to take over all of that. And we grew revenue by about $500,000 in 2.5 years just by making some, in a 32-lane bowling center in a not very high-end market. We were able to upgrade, do some things to the facility. And I found out by accident that he had the place listed for sale.
Oh.
And he didn't tell me. And it really kind of bugged me because I thought, hey, look, you know, you should keep me in the loop at least. I'm not going to leave you, but let's get a high dollar for this place, and maybe you can cut me in a little bit for a little severance package if the new owner doesn't want to keep me. So subconsciously, I was like, I have a lot of influence, and I'm good at promoting this center. So I always had this idea that I wanted to create a website where all the bowlers in the St. Louis area would all go to discuss tournaments, leagues, things they should do. And I figured if I own the website, I control the advertising on the site, so I can promote wherever I am the most effectively. And I could charge other centers to be on my site.
Yeah.
So that makes me a valuable asset as a free agent if I were to ever lose my job. I could hire the guy that owns the St. Louis Bowling website.
Right.
Right? So I created this thing called Inside Bowling, where it was just a message board. And I attracted many of the bowlers. It spread like wildfire in the St. Louis market. And they would go on there and they would post stories about, hey, there's a league here, or I'm going to do this. Well, I floored a 30-team summer league, 30 by 4. I got Hooters to sponsor it and stuff, and we filled it from scratch. You know, 120 bowlers in the summertime.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so hard to do from scratch. And it was all because of this website. So I decided that in one of the threads one day, I was going to bowl this tournament called the Holiday Doubles, my buddy Doug and I. And I took my laptop with a wireless connection, pair to pair, and streamed he and I bowling on Ustream.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and we just kind of sat there and talked to the computer while we were bowling. But we told everybody, watch us bowl live through my Inside Bowling website. And people really thought it was cool. And the proprietor even took an extension cord pair to pair for us. And we look back at that. His name's Mark Brevard, as we see Liz Johnson on the screen there, but with another strike. But so that's kind of how it all kind of got started. And then there were key monumental moments throughout that and connections that were made during this whole thing that really took us to where we are today.
What year was that approximately?
Inside Bowling took to the World Wide Web for the very first time August 26, 2010.
Okay.
And then it was in November that someone approached me. His name's Brian Burkhart. And he approached me and said, hey, I have this thing called Bowl Spot. I'm an introvert. You're an extrovert. I like what you're doing. Why don't you let me redesign your website for you? You could do so much more. And he loves bowling. And we developed a friendship. And we were like polar opposites when it comes to our personalities. Mm-hmm. But he admires me for what I bring to the table, and I admire him for what he brings to the table. And he kept pushing our broadcast to be better. He kept buying things. He's a brilliant web designer or web programmer, I should say. And he builds all this and then gives it to me. I'm not a tech guy. I'm really not. I've become a bit of a tech guy because of this.
Right.
Because I have to plug it all in and make it all work and troubleshoot on the fly. Because he doesn't come with me. He's got a family and young children and everything. But it was when he came on board and pushed me and supplied me with the resources to be able to do just about anything and trained me and taught me about technology. If it was not for him, I would not be sitting here today.
Well, I tell you what, it's you've got a lot of technology here in front of me. Just this nice camera, iPad, all kinds of things in here. Lots of toys.
Well, and I'll tell you, I'll kind of take you around the booth and why we have different things. So the iPad is so we can watch NFL football in the booth while I'm streaming, because that's what I enjoy to do. I sacrifice watching football when I come and stream these events. That camera was a Christmas gift this year from my girlfriend, because I would like to do daily vlogging like that guy Casey Neistat. I eventually want to vlog my life and try to build my own personal YouTube channel and be a likable guy, and then be able to try to do that and pour that into bowling and help people to come watch my broadcasts and stuff when I do this stuff to enhance bowling and everything else that I'm doing. A little self-promotion there, but that's something I want to do. And then like that camera over there, if you want to grab that camera right there.
Thing,
I got this last year, and this is what vloggers use as a point and shoot, because the screen pops up and you can see yourself.
Does it make videos?
Yeah. So you can record videos like that, and you can actually take that out to a concert or out and about without carrying something bulky. It fits in your pocket.
Cool.
And I've done all the updating from Ebonite International for like a World Series stuff with this, and it takes an incredible picture.
Yeah. Hey, I got an idea.
Yeah.
My dad's over there.
Yeah.
Drinking that water. And I might see if he might want to sit in here with us. And
let's do it.
We can all put the headphones on together. And
that'd be great.
See if he wants to do that. I'm going to go over there and ask him.
All right, great. Okay. Sounds good. Danny Collins is going to go see if his dad wants to sit in the booth with us as we finish up this game number 5 of 5 here from the family Collins Bowling Center here, Eastland Bowl. I want to thank New Center Consulting and Hammer Bowling Products for their sponsorship of this event, along with the other sponsors that we have as well, and I want to run through them now. Ace Mitchell Bowlers Mart, Logo Infusion, save 20% this weekend with coupon code Bradley17. Brooks Electric, Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, the United American Supply, and Fireball Whiskey. 2017 version of this event. This is our second year bringing you the event, 38 years running in total. I want to appreciate everybody for joining us in the chat, tweeting us, and interacting with us throughout the day so far. We do have another squad coming up here after this one, after the oil the lanes. That'll be the B squad. And I see that the chat has been been kind of active in here. I know you guys are kind of talking amongst yourselves, so it's always nice to have the proprietor of the bowling center want to sit down and talk to everyone. Many places I go to, the proprietor does not do that, but here they do, and I love having Danny Collins and his family on the webcast. He asked me some good questions going back to our roots, and I don't know if I've ever actually fully explained where we've come from and things like that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing some of that. Thank Mr. Gold. Thanks Tony Hines. Hello, Drew. It's had a pretty funny message come in from Kimberly. Hello, Insight Elbows. Updates. Yeah, we could probably give you an update. That's probably a good idea. Well, what's the verdict?
Well, he's enjoying himself over there watching. He doesn't want to go on the air and start making stuff up.
That's fine.
It's a little new technology for him. He's 78, and he's just he's enjoying watching the tournament, and he's pretty much old school.
Yep.
So
nothing wrong with that.
I said, Dad, you can put the headphones on and listen. You don't even have to say anything. He says, no, I'll be all right here.
Okay.
So he's getting hungry. We're going to eat some lunch here in a little while.
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do the same on the break. I'll be bringing B Squad to everybody here in a little while, and I got some great bowlers on B Squad. Then I get a little break. We're not going to stream the
how's it going?
The cashers round or the re-entry squad tonight, but we'll be back tonight with the cut round. That Jeff Fair, who just came up and shook your hand, what a great guy he is.
Yeah, he's a past winner.
Yep, 2009.
Yep.
I think it was 2009.
Yeah, look on the sheet there.
Yep, 2009.
That's good memory.
Yeah, I cheated a little bit. I earlier today was on a featured pair, and I looked it up. 2-hour memory.
Kentucky's basketball, they're playing today at 4 o'clock. I'm giving my tickets to my two boys. I'm going to drop them off at the game and then come on back here and watch some more bowling.
Very cool. We had 100 bowlers on this squad. I would imagine close to 100 on B squad. Give a shout out to Vic Varner, who's watching the 2017 Bradley Open. Thanks for the share on Facebook, Vic. I said I was going to talk about this last night and never got around to it. So I'll bring it up now. We are changing some things with Inside Bowling for this 2017 year. You know, I'm yes.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing here. Keep the people informed. It's awesome. I'm going to get off here because I'm going to go get something to eat with my dad.
Are you going to roll? Okay.
And I'm going to come back and get more into it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, the B squad?
We may eat lunch, and I may take him back home. As I said,
okay.
He had that car accident. It's a big deal for him to be out here. And he's probably about an hour or two of it is all he can handle. He'll go back home. And you know what? He's got this device I gave him for Christmas called Roku.
Yeah.
And I've got it set up on his TV, so he'll be watching this live stream.
Perfect.
You have no commercials.
No commercials.
So there's nothing else to do.
I think you got to watch one like at the beginning of the thing, but then you're good.
Yeah.
So you're going to join me during B Squad? You'll come back later?
Yeah, I'd love to, man.
Excellent. Well, I'd love to have you. I'm flying solo on the trip, so you can help me out.
All right.
Danny Collins, thank you very much. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
It's Danny Collins, proprietor here at Collins Bowling Center, Eastland Bowl. Appreciate him coming by. So I am going to talk about this. We're currently in the process of redoing our logo And I know it probably sounds like, oh, you guys are redoing your logo. Why are you doing that? What do you need to do? Well, we really need a logo that transcends digital and sport. And we feel our logo, it's time for a change. So we're going to be doing that. And we're going to change our website over to look more like a band website. So, for instance, if you went to like greenday.com, you would find like their latest video and their latest music. You would find their tour dates, where they're going to be, where you can go see them. And then you can buy their merchandise. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to grow this business. And you'll have an opportunity to help support us and do some things. So we are going to, just like Green Day, we are going to tour, which we already do, which is like the Bradley Open, the Boom Doubles, the Fusion Realtors, all these different events we go and stream. That's our tour, where we go out and we see people and we interact and guests come in and we go out and we tour to different cities, just like a band would. The other thing that we do is we do produce new content. We have new songs. New songs is what we're doing right now. This is what we perform through an entertainment side of things. So we will update and put all that on our website and link to the YouTube channel and really work with our social media and digital to do that. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we are going to start selling some merchandise on our website. I'd be interested to see what you guys feel about that in the chat. We are going to do pop culture T-shirts, such as, I'll just give you a garden variety example. If you've ever seen the T-shirt "I voted today," and it's like a circle, it's red, white, and blue, and it says "I voted today." It's like the sticker that you wear. We're going to make a T-shirt that says "I bowled today," and we'll have things like that available. I found a third-party fulfillment center that'll make the shirts one at a time. You'll be able to choose all the different colors that you want. So let's say you like that design and you want it in black, you want it in white, you want it in pink, you want it in orange, whatever color you want, you'll be able to do that. They'll make it to order and send it to you the very next day. We're going to sell those T-shirts. It'll cost you around $20, and we'll make a few bucks off the shirts because it is kind of expensive to make them one at a time from our fulfillment center that we're going to be using. But what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to generate some revenue off of our website with all the impressions that we have, which there are a lot of things that we want to do. For instance, we're using these 720p cameras, these Sonys, that attach through Blackmagic devices that are component cables. And we want to switch everything over to 1080p or maybe even 4K cameras. We're looking at about $1,000 a piece. We have 6 cameras. That would be $6,000 to provide better, clearer pictures for you. And quite frankly, right now we don't have it. So by purchasing some T-shirts, some licensing agreements that we'll have in place, working with some of our partners that we're already with, we want to make a really nice, most user-friendly website we possibly can, and update you with more things that we have going on through T-shirt sales and through all that. More like a band. We're going to set ourselves up like a band. And we're going to try to go out and stream more and have merchandise when we go out on the road, like a special T-shirt for that event and stuff like that. We're not looking to get rich off any of that, but if we can upgrade our equipment and give back, and if this explodes and we turn into where we're selling a ton of stuff, then we can give back and put some money in some prize funds and things like that. But that's going to be the next phase this year. I've never really wanted to charge money. Never really wanted to charge money for what we do. I don't like doing that. So we'll see how it goes. Stream is struggling. Sorry about that, everybody. We had a little bit of an issue there. Internet went down for just a moment. Throughout the day, that happened a little bit yesterday. Yes, you can ask a question. Insight Elbows. Love for you to ask a question. I'll answer it for you. Honeycomb, I have all your bowling attire. Send your money to me first. Inside elbow, seriously. I'm removing that comment. I'm not going to block you yet, but that's your one and only warning, okay? Hope you were just trying to be funny. This is a fun chair to sit in sometimes. Let's just put it that way. We were looking at the updates on the standings, and I had not seen one. We do not have one after number 3. We have after game 3, but not after 4. Insight, I understand your joke. I did get a bit of a chuckle out of it, but that's just when you're trying to attract sponsors or you're trying to show people that bowling is cool, that sort of stuff is probably not a good idea. Look, I do watch R-rated movies, no question. But I also know that this is not an R-rated broadcast. Yeah, no update yet. No update from the front desk yet. Hopefully soon. Waiting on that soon. This whole place was out of whack as far as when people are starting and finish. So I think one pair got really behind, and that's why the scores are taking a little bit longer to come out. The pace of play has been very interesting today. Like 27 and 8 have been done for 30 minutes. Yes, Eric, that's semi-true as well.
Buying out. Can I buy out?
Oh, boy.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to buy out for 20, I hope.
I'm going to buy out for 20. Joining me in the booth right now is Derek Roseberry and Matt O'Grady also here. He's
celebrity right here beside me,
off camera,
everybody.
off to the side. But, yeah, last night, I got some editing I have to do now. Post-editing that I didn't want to have to do.
I apologize for that. I'm buying out for 1 Jackson.
All right, I'll take the 20 from
All
you.
right,
You're welcome back in the booth.
Thank you.
If I could just add, I went back to my hotel room last night and I watched the video, and I laughed for 10 minutes straight from what this gentleman to my left was doing.
It was pretty funny.
So maybe you all should pay me. Or no?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I think that was a free show.
Free show last night, everybody. How's the scores looking out here tonight?
Low. Very, very low.
Kind of like my scores last night, too, probably.
Your scores were much higher last night than what these guys are doing right now.
Not as high as Matt O'Grady's, though.
They just did an update on the scores here. So currently right now 80 over is leading. That's Greg Thomas. Kyle Mayberry was 78 over. Matt Sanders 71 over. Brett Shepard 52 over.
I had to pay $20 to get back in the booth, Chad Roberts.
Yeah, that was a $60 discount, by the way.
I bought out.
Zach Doty is in 10th position. He and everyone else above him are plus. Daniel Farish is 1 under in 11th. So, yeah, low scoring. Right now the cut number after 4 games, 62nd position is 100 under.
Mr. Flanagan, if you scroll to the top of the leaderboard again, I believe you'll see Mr. Greg Thomas there.
Yep.
He is a phenomenal amateur player.
Yeah, he is.
People who don't know him from around the country, he's very unorthodox. He's got great hand-eye coordination. And I think a lot of tilt and rotation, which is going to help him on the lanes today because he can shim it a little bit more than a player with a higher track.
He bowled on tour. He tried the tour for a while. And what USBC event did he win in the last couple of years? Was it the Bowler's Journal? Was it the Bowler's Journal doubles? Was it what did he win an Eagle? I can't remember what it was.
I'm not too certain.
I'm going to look it up. USBC, Greg Thomas should be one of the latest things.
Had a finished frame, I had a shot.
2009 single.
He won doubles with
Makes
Chris
sense.
Hill
Okay.
in 2016.
So this year. Also,
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, there's a story here on Bowling Digital, actually. Oh, there's Chad Roberts. I just saw him here. Anyway, it looks like they've got a... Yeah, Greg Thomas won an Eagle recently. And I don't know if that was his first. It might have been multiple.
It very well could be because he's been good for numerous years.
Yeah. Well, that's a $20 fine. You get in the booth and out come the F-bombs.
Sorry, I apologize. My buddy was listening to the stream this morning, and you mentioned my name owing $80. I was like, oh, God, what happened? Don't remember. There we go. Hey, another $20.
Yeah, we're just going to, twice in a row.
Yeah, let's just block them.
Let's keep it PG out there, folks. There's a lot of young kids that are
watching this
aspiring
event.
to bowl an event like this.
Yes.
They don't need to see the cussing.
Exactly. Yeah, actually, I have a screenshot in my phone from last night when you were on.
Oh, good. Great.
Yeah.
I have a screenshot. That's great.
Well, it was sent to me.
Oh, good.
Along with all the other shots you did last
I'm going to
night.
let you read this out loud on the air.
Okay.
This is when you were on the air.
What is that thing right there?
That's the person's name that commented.
If you want the sport taken seriously or you want this to look professional, you'd have had the drunken clown out of the booth 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Well,
Kay Hendricks. Appreciate it.
Anybody, like you said last night, who's been in a bowling alley late night, it's a free-for-all sometimes.
It is.
They have a bar here. They sell liquor for a reason.
Yeah. No, the proprietors made their money.
And we have an open door policy in our booth, and we would rather people come and sit down and be part of the broadcast. You never know what you're going to get here, and I enjoy that part of it. But at the same time, we like to give each other trouble and have fun, and I want to have drinks with you guys so bad every time I'm in these events, okay? And constantly people are like, Mike, let me buy you a drink. Mike, let me get you a drink. Come on, Mike, here, I'll put it in a styrofoam cup. Like, I constantly get that from people. And my willpower, I'm sorry, I should be commended. This is about me right now, a whole lot of me. But I should be commended that I do not give in to that and that I'm not running the broadcast. Because as creative as I am about when I'm sober and everything, I can get out of control if I've drank too much. And that's why I really don't drink on the air. It's just something every once in a while I might have a beer or something at the end of a day.
Doesn't make you a bad person.
But that's it. But anyway, Derek, you weren't the first to get out of control. Yes, subscribe and like.
Yes, absolutely. Subscribe and like.
But what's happening right now, what's so awesome, is that you aren't like, oh my gosh, I can't even go see Mike today. You're not hiding from me. You're right back in here.
Here I am.
Showing up with $20, redeeming yourself.
If I cash, I'll bring you another 20.
And then we'll get to half.
Yeah.
That's bid.
50%.
So anyway, but I think it's awesome. So that's great. And you guys are getting ready to bowl B squad, and it's time for me to take my break. So
all right, take your break.
I appreciate you guys coming in.
Get some lunch.
And stop by, throughout your squad.
I've already paid.
He settled up.
I've already
Chris
paid.
Hester checking in.
Thank you, Chris.
So I'd like to thank everybody for watching this A Squad. I'm gonna go to break now. We will be back this afternoon with B Squad coverage, probably in about an hour and 15 minutes. I want to thank OG and Mr. Roseberry for coming by and spending a few minutes here at the end.
Everybody have a good day. Watch some good bowling. Next squad starts at 1. It's going to be fun.
That's right. So thanks so much, everybody.